Hit this button, and then we'll go over here and see if it's going to be working. Did we start? Well, I pressed the button to see if it would start. I'm hoping it's going to start. Looks like it is. We got black screen.
Only one button this time?
There we are.
Get start?
Theoretically, yes. It's only one button to get it to start, but it's two to get it to stop. It's less concerned about having any safety for, oh, by the way, you're live, but, oh, are you sure you want to quit?
So we're live.
Oh, yeah, so we're live. Hey, hello. Welcome to the second month of 2021. We're already 1/12 of the way through this. Hi, welcome. It's Monday afternoon. My name is Odin, and I'm here with my lovely co-host,
Felicia.
Hi.
How's your afternoon going so far?
Mine's doing pretty good, and I had mentioned let me do the worst thing you could ever possibly do on screen for an interview. Like I said before, we were talking earlier about how I am once again this week a little bit behind with getting my videos done, so I am a little bit sleep deprived again this week. This is fairly standard, unfortunately. I am looking at doing something. I'm not going to be doing a Mechagodzilla next week. I'm going to do something else that is hopefully a little bit simpler, but and similar to something I've done in the past. So I'm hoping it'll get a decent response. So maybe I can actually take a nap.
Okay, so sleep deprived.
Sleep deprived.
Long sentences.
Yes.
Short sentences better.
Okay.
There we go. Okay. So normal con crunch.
Right.
As always.
As always. Doing pretty good. Much better than I had been the last couple times I complained about con crunching, but.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So
how are you?
I am doing great. Had a little bit of setback this week just with the whole, you get so far on crafting, making things, and then you have to, sometimes rip things out.
Right.
Rip a lot out. And the time that it took you to put it together, and then things come apart, and then...
Yeah.
So I left a project. It took me 2 days to get to where I had to rip it out, and it took me a day to rip it out to get back to where I... Anyways.
Okay. So
it's
3
one
days
of those,
in, you're at the start.
Yeah, it's just one of those setbacks. But it's going to be so much better, and it's worth it.
Okay, good.
And I have to tell myself that.
Right.
So, yeah, setbacks.
Okay.
Time,
Right.
Doing things well. At least trying to do things well.
Well, yes.
Trying. Anyways, so that was kind of my week.
Okay.
Not the worst.
Not
but
the worst.
It's very humbling.
Yes. I had a very small taste of that with working with some LED strip lights, and to get the ones that are cheap and will arrive on time. They always have that weather stripping silicone thing on top of it, which I don't want because it's just bulk and weight. So I'm peeling it off, and then I realized it's starting to take some of the LEDs off with it. Cut the strip up. Yeah, the first one usually it doesn't care, but this one took the electronics off.
I haven't tried to strip those.
Oh, okay.
But I can see.
Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah. So that'll probably happen with our project.
I hope not.
I hope not, right?
Right.
So we just have to finish doing poke holes.
Okay.
And lacing on this.
More hammering.
So we can line that.
Okay.
And then this needs to get taped up because we get to start decorating this, which is the fun part.
Right.
Although I'm going to glue this little corner better because all the other corners are pretty except for this one. So
okay.
After I fix that, then we'll start
Then
taking
you'll start. Okay.
And I love this new glue.
Yes, the new glue is awesome. Absolutely.
There's a lot of people saying hi.
I see there's a lot of people saying hi. I was just looking at trying to... Oh, there we are. I'm not pop-out chat.
That's okay. We're only 5 minutes in.
Only 5 minutes in? Okay, good.
4 minutes
New
in.
pinned chat. You can now pin a message to the top of your live chat for viewers to read. Oh, thanks.
I suppose that would make things easier, but...
It could. Yeah.
I don't
It all depends on how much the viewers read. The live stream, I think they read the comments more. I get the feeling that with the produced videos, the comments, the top few might get looked at, but the comments don't get read by the majority of the viewers.
Yeah, no, I know. It's hard to keep up with them. That's why I was just wondering if it would make it easier or not. I don't know.
So you've seen the same question that's been answered and then repeated forever as well. Yeah.
I'm always wondering, is that the same person that said hi earlier?
Right. Well, that makes sense because they don't know if we've seen it, so they just ask again to make sure they get seen. I mean, I'm not going to fault anyone for that. Artman 2019, hello. William Connors, hello. User 369, ow. Yeah, I don't know. It's not Mahu?
Mahoy?
Mahoy?
Mahalo?
It's Maouu.
I don't know.
It's not
Mao.
ooh, so it's, I don't
I
know.
don't know.
Gavin Smith says hello. Alrighty.
Hello. Hello. And
hello. And Joe Papa.
Woo.
And Jerry Rig Props is here. Hey guys. So I got Jerry Rig Props in the chat and on the Discord where he was saying that.
Speaking of Discord.
Yes.
I actually was interacting with I don't know which platform, but somebody was asking about sewing machines.
Right.
Sewing machines, and I had chimed in and given my 2 cents.
Excellent. You have 2 cents about sewing machines?
Oh yeah, no, I have more than 2 cents about sewing machines. I remember how I kept telling you this is just not the time to buy a sewing machine. It's not time.
Right.
Because everything was just
Everybody.
overpriced and not right, and it just, anyways.
Right.
Knew exactly what I was looking for. Trying to figure it all out, but if you're looking for a sewing machine, you can go for any of the basic models, and you're gonna be fine. I don't like the basic models. I prefer a computerized model.
Okay.
For ease of use, because I don't like tuning the dials to like a radio or those old TVs, trying to get the stitches to be the right width to length. And I know it sounds like it should be just simple, but I find that I have way more issues with tuning
the mechanical. Okay.
with the mechanical machine, as opposed to I can go, push. I want this zigzag with this width ratio, and it just makes it easy every time. So
Sure.
I tend to like computerized machines better.
Okay.
Basic models.
Right. Still a basic model, but ones that's got a wee bit of a brain.
Yes.
Okay.
Enough to think that I don't have to think about those things.
Okay.
Yes. So
I would say that I really like my mechanical machine, but I didn't take care of it. It hasn't sewn anything in a couple of years. So, actually, DIY Prop Shop, when we did the Pay It Forward episodes, the last time that machine worked, whatever year that was.
I vaguely remember you asking for help trying to get that thing to get fixed, and me just going.
Yep, no, that's fine. You gave me great advice. You told me to take it to a place close by that's well known for fixing it, and I haven't done that. So
That's okay. Sometimes it's cheaper just to get a new sewing machine.
right.
When they're that old. And
Right. I think I'll still have. I think I'll still take it in and let them quote me as to what, because I like the fact that it was more of a workhorse type of machine.
No. I like the more powerful machines that you can get with the vintage machines, but certain vintage machines you have to be careful with because they can't handle modern fabrics.
Yeah. Okay.
And I know that sounds crazy.
Nope.
But I had this great little vintage anyways, it
Right.
could not do any satins or stretch or
Right.
like any of these fun fabrics or anyways, it just didn't work out.
It always sewed satin's a little weird, but I always thought that was more my skill than the machine. The machine's also not that old. Like, it's 2000.
No, I know that your machine wasn't too old.
No.
But I'm just saying, older machines I love and I've used and I've worked with, but not all older machines can handle modern fabrics, and that's just something you kind of have to keep in the back of your head, that it might not be your sewing skills.
Okay.
Yeah, I really genuinely prefer a modern computerized machine, especially having to use one daily.
Right.
Yes, so that's my 2 main cents. And then if you're usually having a problem with the sewing machine, first thing you do is rethread it. Take the bobbin out, rethread it, and change the needle. Yep. And then if all of that doesn't work, then you actually can go and troubleshoot, but always start with changing the needle. So that's my 2 cents on sewing machines. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask.
There you go.
I need scissors.
There's a couple of them back there.
Yeah, but I want these ones.
Janice User says, hi, Odin and Felicia.
Hello.
Dan does junk. Hi, guys.
Hi, damn this junk.
Trying to scroll through a little bit, so I'm going to miss a few of these. Just trying to catch up. People saying hello to each other. That's kind of cool.
Nice.
And someone's already said bye.
Bye.
Doctor 667, are you be working on your Witcher armor? No, it's not my Witcher armor. Yes, we're working on the Witcher armor today. Wolverine Scratch says Felicia and Otis. Okay.
Otis.
We got greetings from Alabama and greetings from Seattle, but with an extra letter, so it's Serattle.
Serattle. Do you have the big tape?
The big roll of tape?
Yeah. Did you have a stack of them?
Yeah, I got a stack of them. I just bought some more tapes. So there's
Okay.
more that size, and I bought some that were 1 inch. So there's actually
Okay.
a couple of choices.
Okay.
And the first one I see in here from Timothy Upton. Thank you for liking my shirt.
I'm gonna start with this.
You start that.
Start with this.
So I don't mean to tease you poor guys by saying, oh yeah, we talked about this, but it hasn't happened yet. But we talked about something and it hasn't happened yet. And I'm hearing it happen right behind us right now. How to possibly set up a camera to cut to it for when a train goes by so you guys can actually see the train. I need to order a cable, I think is the main thing. And then I need to set the camera up. So it would have worked today though. It's a decent weather today. So.
Oh, right, yeah. You would have been able to see the train for sure.
Yeah.
I need the reference photo to see where the belt strapping's 100% going to go. We could show them so they could see our reference photo.
Do we have it loaded
Is it
still?
loaded? I didn't take it off.
But it, no. I think-
Nope, it's the other one. No, it's not the right one loaded. But
Let me go to the switcher control and I'll change which one it is. Right, it's still our test fitting.
do the one with all the
This
front,
one?
yeah, that one.
Over the turnaround?
The multi-view.
Okay.
There we go. And then they
All
can
right.
see what we're kind of referencing.
So what we're kind of referencing is...
This version of Geralt's armor. And we're going to do the strapping.
strapping.
The strapping.
So the strapping is all the belts going around his chest, right? That's what you're talking about?
Yeah, all the
Stuff that's holding his swords on and
the bandoliers, the belts, the
yeah.
whatever technical terms they are. Yeah, but that's what we're working
There
on.
are a bunch of straps.
He's a strapping young man.
He is a strapping young man. And so what you're doing by looking at this and seeing what we're talking about doing, what you're doing, is actually trying to lay it out using blue tape on the actual piece we've worked on.
Yes. So I am going to just kind of cover it in tape and then draw it actually out with the ruler and then use it as like a pattern.
Okay, so the tape itself isn't the pattern. You're going to refine.
Yes.
Okay.
Because no, it's not actually straight lines. And tape is
True.
still straight lines.
Yeah.
So we got to figure out which patterns we're going to work with.
Yeah.
Super glue.
Yep, just to hold the
And
lace in place. Because I'll glue this end down, and then I'm going to back the lace out and back it all the way down. So, in an effort to, I don't know how to put it, maximize the amount of lacing I have for other parts of the project instead of just, I'll cut it out the middle. Oh, now I got a bunch that are too short.
sounds like you've done this before.
A couple of times. Gonna look at my Discord. I'm not checking. I am checking messages, but I'm checking messages that are part of the show. See, I've got a Patreon, and one of the things I tried to set up for my patrons is a Discord server where I try to talk back to them, and it's It's a Discord server, and so I set up a thing for asking questions directly, because there's been the occasional live stream where it gets really difficult to keep up with what's going on in the chat.
Yes.
There we go.
I don't think I need come this far or that far. I think we're good.
Lord Khan, just curious. Odin Makes, just curious. What Deadpool props could you make that are not swords or guns? Well, there's all the other bits and pieces that go onto Deadpool's outfit, of course, but
He has a mask.
he's got the mask. I know a really good Deadpool cosplayer, and it would be really hard for me to make any Deadpool when I could just, call up KOTJ Cosplay and go, hey! From the movie, one of the first things that comes to mind from the first movie was the chamber that he got locked into. This is like more of a set piece. It's a very large prop. But the chamber that he got locked into that forced the superpowers on him that he had to rescue his girlfriend out of, or fiancée, from at the end of the movie. And then, Juggernaut's helmet would be really cool to make.
Yeah?
And that version of Juggernaut I kind of liked. I mean, I like the maroon giant pointed dome head that he's got in the comics that he had in most all other media. He's got a pretty consistent look, but the prison garb, like cast iron head that he had in Dead, I like that look too.
Yeah, no, that's a good helmet.
Yeah. Of course, I'm picking a helmet, but
Hey, why not play to the strengths?
there you go.
Alright.
Come
I know this. I need a bigger.
Need a bigger,
Need a bigger ruler.
bigger,
but
longer
I think
ruler, or
I just need a measuring tape.
okay.
Because there's a lot of things that have to layer in there. There's the little buckles that he has that I think
Right.
would make a lot of sense if he used these to keep the pauldrons on, but he
Yeah,
doesn't.
it would.
No, it's
No.
just
They're just decorative.
it's just decorative. Although that would be a completely functional piece.
It would be a totally functional piece. And yeah, you were saying that, and
That's okay. But I also want to make sure that I could fit. I go from this corner to that corner. Anyways.
Well, that's still a better shot. Well, let's just hit lots of cameras and make it. Oh, look, the on-screen display is on. Sweet! Thank you, camera 3.
Ooh, I'm judging your settings.
Oh, you should. I don't change those settings. The camera's just pain in the ass. All right, what else we got here? Jerry Rig props. I'm just going to read this one cold. I have no idea what he's asking yet.
Okay. Let's see
Jerry
what he
Rig
has to
props.
say.
I'm not sure if this was asked last week, as I had to leave early, but how did you make the headstand thing that you have for painting helmets? Oh, okay.
Which one?
The headstand thing that I use for painting helmet.
Yes, but you have lots of random stands you.
Right. Well, it's off to the side, so I have to wander. What I've got. It's unfortunate. Mechagodzilla leaned up against the cheek, so I believe it's this headstand thing.
Oh yeah, that one.
But just that part. So what I've got is it's just a plank of wood that I use a Forstner bit to drill in a wooden dowel. And the wooden dowel fits inside of a piece of PVC pipe. So that's...
Here's camera, so they can see close up. Or 4.
Oh, whichever. Okay. So, starting again, it's just a plank of wood, and I used a Forstner bit to put a partial hole. It didn't go all the way through, and then I glued in a wooden dowel. So now I've got a stand. This part is a PVC pipe that happens to fit neatly over the wooden dowel, and the PVC pipe runs into a floor mat foam top of my head. This is left over. I think I made this when I did. Yeah, it looks like it. When I did Thor, the first Thor's helmet, the one for Ragnarok. I think is when I made this. So, but this piece I didn't make into a stand until much later. So it's a dome that is roughly my head shape, made from floor mat foam. I've got a circle that I glued in the top here, and then a hole that I shoved the piece of PVC pipe in. The PVC pipe goes all the way to the top here.
You got mail.
And I got mail.
You got mail. John brought mail, but
Oh,
we don't
okay.
have to open it yet.
All right.
But there's mail.
We got mail. Great. I've got blinders on. I didn't even see him come in. I heard the noise, but I thought you moved.
No, that was John came in.
Okay, cool.
I was like, anyways.
All
yes,
right.
we got mail.
Sweet. Just a box or a...
Here.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
I think it's foam.
Oh, yeah, it is. Okay, good.
It feels like foam.
So I don't have viewer mail with me today. I never got out to the post office box this last weekend, but because I can only get out to it on the weekend. It's kind of weird. But yeah, I've got this that arrived, and and I have something else that's coming that may not make it during the live stream.
Okay. Would you say that's about scale-wise 2 inches, or would
His
you-
straps?
Yeah, his straps. Or would you say that's
Which-
about 3?
The big one?
'Cause that's about an inch strap in the middle. Yeah, the 2 that are crossing that. So it would be about an inch on either side.
So you get an inch because we're looking at I can't zoom in on that, sorry guys, but we're looking at the pauldron on the right shoulder, and then the cross going across the chest. Or not the cross, but is it the multi-strap or the big?
The big one, not
The
the
big one.
multi-strap one.
Okay.
The one with the 3 straps, that one I'm going to do that at about
Yeah.
as an inch.
That looks like, yeah, I can think that's an inch. Because how big's the pauldrons? Our pauldrons are 6 inches or 8
No.
inches?
I started out with the number 9, but we kept trimming them.
Right. What I would end up doing at this point,
Here they are. So this is the upper arm, that's the lower arm.
okay. So this edge, this is just,
Scale-wise, how are we doing?
every time I guess, I like kick myself.
It's okay.
So we made them 8,
There we go.
and does this let me zoom?
Not really easily.
Weird, huh? Oh, there it
Oh,
is.
there you go.
So I'll just zoom in on this, and then using the
Now
glue
you're gonna-
ruler, it's like that's 6. Okay, so that's relatable, and that's 1 7/8. So let's see if is it. Yeah, maybe just make it 8, right? Instead of trying to do math.
It's about 2 inches, right?
Actually, that's as large as it's going to get. Probably, yeah, about 2 inches,
Yeah.
because it's not quite a third of this. So yeah, it's
Yeah,
probably
but
about
I
2,
would
maybe even 2 1/4.
Yeah, I would give it seam allowance after cutting out the piece, but I just want to make sure. I don't know, err on the side of length.
Right.
Bigger than smaller. And then there's 2 of them.
And there's 2 of them that cross underneath with the straps on either side.
Right?
Is there enough? Yeah, there's enough there.
Yeah.
What about this choker? Is that part of his undershirt? It is now. He's got this collar, right?
Yeah, he has a collar. We could do it as
It's
part
probably part of his undershirt. I wouldn't think the collar would be part of his clamshell.
Could do it as a dickie.
Yeah, could. That would make more sense.
Be more comfortable.
Be more comfortable since you're not actually fighting demons and witches.
In all reality, sometimes I go, how is that mobile? Like,
I was expecting you to say, in all reality, I often fight demons and witches.
Oh yeah, but not with this type of armor. It would be
okay.
impractical.
It
You know,
probably would, yes.
you need stilettos and
Right.
and bracelets.
And bracelets and squirt guns full of holy water.
Right?
Yes.
Anyways, okay.
Because kung fu fighting and stilettos is, yeah.
That's what they always put the girl superheroes in.
Right?
Yeah. I want to get the other belts. Those are in that box over there. Just make sure.
All right.
Sorry.
It is okay. I'm still just playing with these laces, and then I get to make more holes! Because my job is to lace today, but that's okay. At least I'm doing something. Which I'm not complaining that I'm not normally doing something, but I mean, I'm actually participating in making the project progress. Let's see, I've looked at the Discord a couple times. I'm going to jump back over to see if anything is happening. Yes, things are moving. Oh wow, what's this? Somebody's being nice. Add Vexen. Here finally, what to ask. Felicia. All right. Well, we'll wait for her to come back on screen. But finally, what to ask Felicia. We'll donate hair wig maybe.
I didn't hear you. What'd you say?
Interesting. It's three different questions for everyone that's been on the show, me, you, and Joe. And I'll read the question for Felicia when she's more on this side of the room.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I gave you,
You gave me.
And I put them over here, and I can't find them, but it's just me hiding them from myself.
Okay. You want me to turn on the light for you?
No, it's fine. I like looking in the dark.
Oh wow, the Jack of all trades donated $5. Thank you, Jack. Thank you, Jack of all trades. Alrighty.
There they are, sorry.
Good. Found the belts. So I'm going to jump to the end of this three-part question, which is addressed to me. It says, Odin, the 1975 Mechagodzilla hands said better 90% difference from 1974. It's literally word for word what the question is. Mega G hands said better 90% difference. Right. Okay, gotcha. The idea is, in the 1974 Mechagodzilla, of course, he's defeated at the end of the movie because he's the villain, and that's what you do. The villains in movies, right? You want a resolution, and it's typically what happens. So, in Terror of Mechagodzilla, which came out in 1975, since he's a robot, you just upgrade him. You fix him and upgrade him. He's Mechagodzilla 2.
So,
and he's...
Software update?
Yeah, software update, tiny bit of hardware. And so I believe the question is saying that there's 90% similarities between Mechagodzilla and Mechagodzilla 2. Some of the big differences are the hands are bigger, or specifically the fingers are longer. He actually has his initials on his arm, because I guess Mechagodzilla's got tattoos. So it says MG2.
He got new decals?
They're raised.
Oh, they're raised.
Yeah,
They're embossed. He got embossed.
Yes, he got new embossments.
There we go.
And there's a few other little small things, little panels and stuff that are a little bit different on the body and what. Yeah, because they had to fix the costume from the first movie.
I'd be very disappointed if people didn't notice.
Right.
You know, like I grew his nails out.
Right, and then I think I see a lot of the toys have multiple colors on them. There's like some dark grays and some light grays and such. And I think Mechagodzilla 2 has that on screen, whereas Mechagodzilla 1 is just silver. He's one coat silver. Which I'm okay with. It's easier for me to paint.
Yeah, it's easier to paint. But I could see. But you also gotta think about Technicolor. You know, like how it came off on camera.
Right, well, that's
it
true.
It made a difference.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's
better every time.
It does,
You
and I'm
can't
sure having
screw it
multiple
up.
colors would be better. So my assumption of the remainder of this question is, will I be making Mechagodzilla 2, since it's only going to require about 10% changes?
But you could have made that one in the first place.
I could have made that one in the first place, and I could make that one in the second, but I'm pretty happy
But
just
you
having
like that
74, yeah.
I was like, you made him because you wanted him.
Right, exactly.
He's standing right there.
He's-
Mechagodzilla.
yes,
We can't
he's-
talk about him without him.
He's right there. It's the head's right there.
Yeah, it's staring at me.
It is. The batteries aren't in it, so he's asleep. If you're not going to be you sir, I'll be powering down for a while. Sure, 3PO, go ahead. Yeah, that's the one that I wanted, so that's the one I'm making. In order to make a Mechagodzilla 2, right, I would basically need a new upper arm, a new set of hands, and maybe a mild repaint. I think that would be fairly passable. But the repaint's the part that I wouldn't be willing to do.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And
You made that one because you wanted that one,
Right.
so you could, but you're not going to.
no, I seriously doubt it. I would rather spend my time making something new. something,
Yeah.
or
New project.
or old but a new project, right? Because Mechagodzilla 74 isn't exactly new. So, I'll let you interpret the question. I'll word for word.
Okay.
What Advexen said. Advexen. Here finally what to ask. Felicia will donate hair, wig maybe. So I think you've talked about how you change your hairstyle or you'll change colors things on occasion. And this is a lot of inferring here.
Yes, I change my hair very often. And yes, I have donated my hair twice.
Oh, cool. I've only done it once.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Because I had very long hair at one point.
Yeah, I wasn't allowed to have my hair dyed or anything crazy for the longest time,
Right.
Professional jobs.
Right.
Where I got an even better job and now I don't have to worry about it. Anyways.
Right. Yeah, it was fun when I first met you working at Smosh. I suppose the way of describing it, your hair was a bit like Tonk's hair from Harry Potter.
Oh yeah, no, it's always a different color every
Yeah.
time people saw me, so I often got reintroduced to people.
Right.
Even sometimes within the same day. Anyways, but yes, I'm not opposed to donating my hair. It's finally kind of long enough that I can.
Right, there's a minimum length really that needs.
Yeah, and also they don't want any dyed hair.
Right.
So when I was dyeing my hair like crazy,
Yep.
I couldn't donate it.
Right.
And it was damaged and wasn't worth it.
Right.
But
Which
anyways,
is a
nice
big part of it.
quarantine.
Yes. So you have quarantine hair now.
Quarantine hair, yeah, I can chop it all off and I can donate it eventually, but we're not there yet.
All right.
Gotta get the Fauci ouchie.
Have you ever done just pure bald?
I have not. My sister did, and I know not to.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
Yeah. I don't even think... No, I've done a bald cap at Smosh. Have I?
Oh, I've done bald
I've
caps.
played it with Paula. She's put it on my head.
Right.
Yeah.
I've done a really bad Dr. Evil cosplay, and I've done bald caps for head casts and stuff. So I've seen.
Yeah. I'm not opposed to it. It grows.
Right.
My hair grows really fast,
Well, that's
but my sister did it. I laughed at her, and so I can't.
Yeah.
My big
That makes
sister,
sense.
so, I think I want to do the strap as brown, so it's more contrasty, and his straps are brown. Mm-hmm. And
Is that enough? You need more? I can make the chat smaller.
No, it's okay. I like seeing the chat. It's fine.
Okay.
I just am doing a lot of thinking, and thinking
Sure.
isn't as interesting. Okay. Anyway.
Sometimes no, it's not. That's why actors aren't paid to think. No.
No,
I shouldn't say that because that's actually not an easy job, and they definitely think.
tell me about it. Poor kids. But I have all of the stuff for this, and I'm going to glue this on to the top.
Okay.
I thought I had brown belts, but these were just cheap dollar store belts.
Right.
Dollar store belts?
Dollar store belts. I have most of my brown belts are really beat up and stuff. I mean,
No, this one's on the right kind of.
Yeah, okay.
I think it's just, we have the glue. I can literally just.
I've got like leather belts that are still
No,
kind of
this
chewed
is
up.
a cheap vinyl
Yeah, it's a
belt.
ch-
I'd rather use this
'Cause
for
you're
what
gonna
we're doing.
glue it, yeah.
Yeah, but I can cover it. I'm
It's
just
true.
thinking of how much I have to rip apart, and I don't really have to. I think I will lose this piece
Okay.
because I can replace it with the brown one, and
Right.
then it's just a strip wrapped over, and then I can keep the hardware.
Mm-hmm.
And his hardware is silver, so I don't have to change it.
Right. I have a few bits of random hardware, but the hard thing
Yeah.
is getting stuff that matches, although I don't know if...
I have these ones. We have enough for
Yeah.
the straps.
Okay.
And they're all matching, and they're all silver.
Right.
That's why I was looking for these ones. I'm like, I know I had those stupid dollar store belts
Right,
in the
okay.
bag. So, anyways, that's what these are. But I'm going to change it so it's brown. It would be easier if I left it black or had a brown one to start, but
Right.
it is what it is. And then I think, so that it's a little bit more dimensional on this,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do this piece out of the red
Okay.
wet the foam, just so that
Gotcha.
it's raised, cover it,
Okay.
and then put this over the top of it.
Nice.
And then it's going to, but then I'm also going to glue it so it'll be dimensional, but it'll also be dimensional. Does that make any sense?
Right. You're not going to glue it flat all the way down. You're going to glue the ends or somewhere so it's got a little bit of hang. Is that what you mean? Or am I saying that wrong?
No.
No.
I'm glad I asked because I was like, it came out weird.
Okay.
So I'm saying dimensionality, meaning there's going to be some dimension
Yeah,
to
there'll be some layers.
some
Yeah,
layers
dimensions,
to it.
Yeah.
And then also it's going to be overlapped, so we're not even going to see it on this part.
Right.
And where it hooks. There's a hook here,
Right.
and there's a hook here.
Right. So on the bottom of the clamshell, you're going to be able to fake the belts hooking together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm going to put this, I think I want to put them together so that I can make sure that that happens before I cut anything off.
That's probably very wise.
You know, before I start cutting any of this fabric or
Again, sounds like
anything.
you've done this before.
Yeah, because you think it's going to be a straight line. It's never a straight line.
No, it's never a straight line. I've made that mistake plenty of times
I
too.
know this is a straight line, but this is not a straight line.
No, it's not a straight line wrapping around a curved body.
Not, yeah, so
No.
I just want to make sure that we have that right before we start all the rest of it. Which...
Weirdly enough, the first thing comes to mind is, the shortest distance in space isn't a straight line.
No, it's a curved line.
Yeah. That's not really related to what we're talking about, though.
No, it's
just
very much related to...
Okay. So the third question that Advexen was trying to ask was to Joe, who is not here today, or at least not here yet. Joe was saying he might show up later on. He's actually working on a project of his own, but I don't know if I'm going to be seeing him today. If Odin makes, then Joe paints. Remake using mostly paint. Okay.
Yeah, but then you wouldn't have your original, the one you want.
Gotcha. For the yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah. Oops. I clicked the wrong thing and everything disappeared.
I'm
The whole world disappeared. That's not what I want. I want it like that. Like that. There we are. And I want this back so I can actually see what the find people are talking about.
Yes.
Alrighty. Matthew Diaz, in all caps. Odin, please. What's the right way to for pronouncing please with no vowels? PLS. I mean it's please. Please. Odin, please make Kong's axe from Godzilla vs. Kong. Okay. Hey, Odin, Felicia, New Brunswick, Canada's here. Eh? Okay.
I wanted to say A, but it didn't come out.
Oh,
It was
okay.
like, how do you say hi in Canadian? Hello, howdy? I don't know. Just
Okay,
hello
so-
like anyone else.
So I'm old. If you guys hadn't noticed this, just in case, I'm old, but I know a lot of you remember pop culture from the '80s as well. So you say how does one say hello in Canada? The first thing that comes to mind for me is "Koo-roo-koo-koo-koo-koo-koo," and I crack my voice. That's great. "Koo-roo-koo-koo-koo-koo-koo." And so I don't know who all is laughing at my horrible. I can't hit the notes right. That's great. Bob and Doug McKenzie from the Great White North and Strange Brew. And I always enjoyed the fact that on their little show of the Great White North, which is all about Canada, Canada was actually painted blue, and America and Alaska and all the other nations were white.
Okay.
But it was called the Great White North. It's just, Canadian humor. Dylan Stockdale is asking, once again, hey Odin, how did you meet Felicia and Joe in the first place? If you don't mind me asking, maybe again.
Okay.
Okay.
So, you want to start with meeting Joe, since he's not here, and he can't tell?
I found Joe in the gutter. He was scraping along, trying to figure out the best thing he can do to get his next Pokemon card fixed. No. Partial truth. Joe is a really good old friend of my wife's, and they met playing Pokemon. Literally playing the Pokemon trading card game. She was running games at a game store in the mall, and he came in to play. And then years later, we ran into him again when he was running a Pokemon game at a comic shop here in town. So how did I meet Joe? Well, when I really first met Joe, he was running a Pokemon tournament at a comic shop, which, that makes sense. That was not quite. That was a while ago.
How many years? No.
How many years? I'm trying to think. 16, 17,
Oh, wow.
maybe 18. It's been a while.
And then we met working at Smosh.
Right.
Yeah, I was working there, and then...
And then Ian, Ivan. Wow, I've done that twice now. Ivan.
There isn't even Ian, and there is an Ivan.
Yes, there is an Ian, and there is an Ivan. Ian's on screen. Ivan just records what everyone says.
Yeah, he just hears everything.
Yeah, he's the sound guy. He's actually supposed to be doing that. Ivan, I met Ivan working on a show called Beyond Geek, where he was the sound man, and he invited me to come down and work at Smosh because they were in need of grips. And so I was a grip for like a month. And then I took over for Chris for doing art direction.
Yeah, because it was Chris before you. I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And yeah, I wasn't working with him as being a grip for very long.
Yeah, because I don't remember you being a grip.
Yeah, no, it wasn't very long. It was like a month. Yeah. I think it was the episode when there was a toy rocket or some other bomb type thing blew up in the room.
There's so many episodes.
Right.
I don't remember any of them.
That's fine.
Why do I have a picture of Anthony on a toilet? I don't remember.
Why wouldn't you have a picture of Anthony in the toilet?
I do. I have tons of them. I'm just going through these photos going, I have no idea what episode this one's from.
Is it the one that you recently posted online?
Yeah,
where it's
that's
in the
one of
living room?
them. Yeah, that's one of them. I have no...
Didn't we have two like clean prop toilets that you just kind of move around and set up anywhere? I think there was two of them, not just one, but two.
Yeah, they had different styles.
Yeah, they had different styles.
Yeah, no, we often did naked, not naked.
Right.
It just was part of the thing. There's a lot of them. So we started... Around when did you start?
14, I think it was.
2014?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was like summer of 14.
I think I started a little after 2000. I started at their Tomahawk Chop video.
Right.
That was my very first video with them.
Okay.
Doing the Tomahawk Chop, and then the next year I did their other Assassin's Creed music video, and I worked in between then. But that's how I met them. But
I don't know if it was the first video, but one of the first ones I really remember because I thought the script was interesting. It was about how anybody could be the next Doctor Who. And the little drinky bird was going to be the next Doctor Who. And so they actually bought one of those...
little drinky birds.
Little drinky bird things, yeah. And that was the next Doctor Who. And that was either the first or at least one of the first episodes that I worked on. And that was shot at the Smosh House.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so many. They're all blended together. But we met working there. And you did props and I did wardrobe. Mm-hmm. I started out there as a PA.
Right.
No, I started out there wardrobe assistant. But then they asked me to come on as a PA because I was hired on the Tomahawk music video because Paula, who did their hair and makeup all the time, would always come into the costume shop and ask for help getting these random Pokemon and video game characters.
Uh-huh.
That she's like, I don't know who this is. And so I was always helping her.
Okay.
You know?
You did?
I worked at the costume shop and she's like, can I have Felicia help me, James? Yeah, I love James. Anyways. So she needed help on this project, and so she's like, she asked me, and the rest is kind of history because Paula, I was just talking to her yesterday. She's doing good. Yeah.
Good to hear.
Yeah. But yeah, so I was always getting into your things.
Right.
I need scissors that and actually cut through this stuff because I didn't bring my fabric scissors, so I stole yours.
Right.
All the time. Those one, anyways, and I would always steal your drill and your Dremel, and I need some foam.
And come back with side quests.
Yes.
Yeah, and I got a side quest.
Side quest.
Side quest.
Yes, side quest. I'm working on this project, but I need this piece molded, and I don't know how I'm going to do this.
And how many times do we have discussions over what is wardrobe and what is prop?
Yes.
What's the line? You know, with sunglasses, are they wardrobe or are they props?
The line is, if they start out on the person, it is wardrobe. If it starts out not on the person, it's a prop.
Sure.
That's where we kind of officially decided, but I didn't give a crap. It was like, is it easier for me to get it or for you to get it because I'm going to these stores?
Right. But I whenever we had that discussion, it was more, and it wasn't necessarily you and me, it was like...
I know, it was...
Other people too. Trying to organize all the stuff. And so putting things away is where that came up. It's like, I have a pair of sunglasses. These are prop, right? It's like, I guess. I think for the most part, if it could hang on a hanger, it got considered a wardrobe and would be put into the wardrobe
Except
department.
for purses were props.
Okay.
I never got, like, I went to go put purses away and I was always told, no, those are props. So purses are not, I don't know. It doesn't matter anymore.
No, it doesn't matter anymore.
No. I'm going to round
It's
these
just-
just slightly because I don't like how sharp these points are. And then it'll fit better. Not that his...
I bought a new ruler.
You bought a new... I noticed. I totally pulled it out, too.
Right. Well, I had a different 1-inch wide clear ruler that either I could have actually bought as well, or you brought over, one or the other. Actually, I think you brought it over, and that's wandered off.
Oh.
And at this point, I find myself every time I go into Blick Arts, which I went into Blick Arts Supply this past weekend, I end up standing in front of the ruler section, which changes every couple months, and looking at all the different rulers for whatever reason. It's not like I don't have enough. There's a dozen there and a dozen there and and a few down here. I got a couple upstairs in my office. Yeah.
So you needed that one.
Well, I didn't have the short transparent one, and I did like the grid on that one. So
Yeah, no, this is my favorite ruler, and it can replace most of the rulers because I can do a curved ruler, a straight ruler, a clear ruler, but you can't use it for
a brooch,
cutting.
a necklace, a pterodactyl.
Actually, you could use it for a collar and
Okay.
a crown and a necktie.
Oops.
But yes, this one's my favorite ruler, but I have a whole kit of rulers, so I
Right.
can't talk crap. I have my hip curve, my French curve.
Yep. I appreciate the hip curves hanging here.
Yeah, no, it makes life easier.
It does, and I have used it.
All right, I'm liking this so far. I have to kind of stare at my lines a little bit before I.
Oops, let's do. There we are.
I know it's kind of crazy, but I have to make sure that here's my center points going
Right.
up through it, that they match.
Right, so it's all crossing at the right spot.
Yeah.
Do you have enough space on the top for your buckles?
That's what I was double checking.
No, I think the top one does go underneath. The bottom one's fully exposed.
The bottom one's kind of weirdly down here.
Oh, sorry,
No,
I
it's
gotta-
right about there.
Yeah, I think I didn't give enough chess on my thing.
But it still feels really
It
oddly
feels really
long.
good.
So.
And
this
yeah,
can go
the top
slightly
buckle
under.
is on the art that's over here that nobody can see but us. The top buckle is right up at the neckline.
Yeah, it's right here.
Yeah.
And then this one's right down. I'd say it's about there, but that's where our cross is. So we can either raise this cross slightly, or we can just drop that. I think we still need to raise the cross.
Okay.
Dang nabbit, because I was liking that one.
Right.
But you have to make sure. And then also he has his little brooch necklace, and I need a
Right,
circle.
which we have not 3D printed yet.
No, but a circle about that size.
Oh, there you go.
That needs to fit in there.
Right.
On top of everything underneath that. Yeah, no, this needs to raise because it needs to cross right about here. I want the cross spot to be here. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I don't want to draw too deep of lines because I don't want to etch these lines into the
No.
vinyl below.
So-
There.
Brian Zappo, at everyone. Odin promised to read all the requested items props. He's making a list. He's checking it twice. We're gonna find out if he's making it or not. Instead of making it
We're gonna
nice.
find out.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we've been naughty or nice. I don't know.
Odin, when will you make a TARDIS? I've made a TARDIS, but of course that's not what you're asking for. I think the 4th video on my channel or the 5th video on my channel was a TARDIS. It was just after I made Wheatley.
Look it up.
Look it up. Yep. Hey, Richard Boom's right there talking about that. Made one a few years ago. Yes, I did. It was about that big on a Lego. But it was a TARDIS. At the moment, I don't have any plans on making a big, full, wooden, proper TARDIS. We talked last week about maybe making a facade that opened up into the shop, so you could look at the TARDIS on the outside, but then the doors open up and you come into the space.
Yeah.
Classic
So it's a door
TARDIS
instead of
thing.
a box.
Right.
Or
we can do it to the.
You do kind of have a box right there.
I do kind of have a box right there. I think I'd rather have it
there.
Yeah.
You have options.
I have
not
options.
There's.
Yeah, we're not committed to anything yet.
No, definitely not. But it's not out of the realm of possibilities. Sorry.
Is that right?
I'm making a mess.
And checking it twice.
Pretty much. Okay. What's nice is that I can at least line up my old lines and keep this line parallel.
We got. Lots of Doctor Who questions, and I just got to laugh a little bit, which isn't fair. It's not fair to laugh. Because they're talking about sonic screwdrivers. Things move, so I missed who said what here. Jason Edmonds, can you make the various sonic screwdrivers from Doctor Who? I made Tom Baker's because that was my first Doctor. I remember seeing Tom Baker on the local PBS station here, the fourth Doctor, and that was So I made his sonic screwdriver. And that I've actually done here on the channel. And you're asking about various and other ones. And then immediately after that, David Ocean, Alaska, or David Ocean, AK, Oceanic. Odin, how about making the Dalek headpiece from Doctor Who? Okay, the Dalek headpiece. First, I want to laugh because early 90s, using the Doctor Who technical manual, I made a full-size wooden Dalek. So I have made a classic Dalek.
Where did that end up?
I think that's in my attic. It's supposed to be at someone else's house, but it's in my attic. And the full body, and most of it is wood, plywood and hardboard and whatnot. The head itself, I made a plaster form and made a basic mold, and then made it out of fiberglass in order to get the actual dome of the head. So that was the one part that was fiberglass. Everything else was just wood. Yeah. And remember the balls that went on the side, because there's all those balls that go like hemispheres that go on the skirt.
What you ended up using for that?
I went to there's a local cat toys. There's a local party place that was called Wishing Well.
Oh
now it's called
Well.
Big Top.
Wait, it still exists?
There is a business there. They call themselves Big Top. I don't think it's Wishing Well.
Not any. Do they have the bins like Wishing Well did?
I haven't been inside. I haven't been by when they've been open.
That was my favorite store when I was like 3.
Right.
And pennies bought things.
Right. Wishing Well was one of those retailers you would go to buy the stuff for your school's carnivals. So you're bobbing for apples or throwing darts to, because everyone throws darts at school, to balloons, and you get the little prizes, the spider rings or the little spyglasses or whatever, erasers. That's the place you would be able to go and get it in bulk easily here locally. Yeah. It was the only place I knew to do that type of a thing.
Right? That was like one of my absolute favorite stores.
They were like half barrels, right? Or not quite
they
that
were
big.
bins.
They were bins, yeah. They were just square
down
bins.
The bins and go pick out little
erasers and
little tiny Barbie cups and flies and tattoos and friendship bracelets and koosh balls and
right.
Those random items that you could get for
the really
5
crappy vampire teeth. Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
The ones that make you drool but don't actually work as teeth. Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought that was gone forever.
No,
I'll have to check that out.
Big Top's there. But I went to that business when they were in business, and they also would sell a lot of costume stuff. And at that time, it was a very easy place to go to get costumes because it wasn't as common as it is now. I bought a case of the ball and chain for you put on a prisoner.
Yeah.
I bought a case of those things from them because it came with like 24 or 30 in a case, and I got a price break.
Yeah.
So it was a 5-inch black plastic ball.
Yeah.
With a little hole because the chain had to go in it, right?
Uh-huh.
So I cut it in half at the mold line, and then I glued them. So I ended up with 60 of them, or however many, which was the right number or close. And I glued those onto the wooden skirt with the opening going down because you didn't really see it.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense because trying to get a dome crafted.
Right.
It's not the easiest.
No.
At all.
And I think at this point in time, here we are 25 years later, 27 years later, most of them have fallen off last time I looked.
Could be re-glued.
They can be re-glued. They can be repurchased. They can be remolded and done out of something solid instead of trying to glue thin plastic onto...
New cat toys.
New cat toys.
And I like that you can buy in bulk at the dollar store now.
Yes. That's right. You figured that out.
Yes, but you have to be patient and do it way in advance so that you are not waiting on things.
Right.
At least that's what I found out.
And oddly enough, you were getting 5-inch balls.
Yeah, cat toys.
Cat toys.
Yeah, those were to be pinheads, though.
Right.
But yeah, basically the same thing.
Not Cinnabites, actual sewing pinheads.
Yeah. Right.
Trevin Hines, do you do commissions? I have not been taking commissions because just getting my YouTube channel done on a weekly basis is absolutely full time, and I would never be able to deliver on any kind of realistic time scale for any sort of commission. However, Joe does.
Yeah, Joe does.
So and at this point, I think Joe at Odin Makes is a email that works, or you can find him at Next Grade Gunpla on Instagram. Do you do commissions?
No.
Yeah, same thing. You got too much of a full time job to deal with.
I used to, and
Right. The hardest
I was
thing.
a freelance person,
Right.
so I did, but no, I'm not anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So. I know, I'm sorry I'm being all boring today.
No,
My head is in patterns.
Great. Do patterns. That is one of the skills that you have that I often brag about, actually. So I'm sure you've had this exact same experience with wherever you're working or whatever you're doing. I'm in college doing a puppetry class. It's the first time I got to actually use foam and contact cement. It was just the open cell polyfoam, the couch foam, a huge sheet of it. We'd make puppets. I made like a dragon and all sorts of stuff. Was talking about making patterns with the other students in the class, and I can't remember exactly what the question was asked, but my basic response was, well, aren't you just seeing it in your head?
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
I
and-
sleep and I pattern while I'm sleeping.
And that was one of the lessons I got in that class was that nobody else sees it in their head.
I will get stuck on a problem, and it's like a puzzle piece.
Right,
Where
absolutely.
You kind of pull it apart, put it back together, pull it apart, put it back together. How does it all?
Totally. No, problems are definitely puzzles.
Yeah. So patterning, I do that in my sleep, and I solve my problems. If I can't figure it out that night,
Okay.
I sleep on it, and I usually do it in my sleep.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, patterning.
Patterning.
I overthink things, but it's okay.
That's patterning.
Yeah. And I think I like this for now.
David again coming out with more Doctor Who stuff. And again, I have to laugh. Here's another one for you. Cybermen. So after I got done doing the Dalek, I started trying to put together a Cyberman Halloween costume. That actually never happened. But there was a point in time when I was starting to work on a classic... oh man. Now I'm the Fifth Doctor.
You haven't had sleep, so...
John Davidson. Peter Davidson Doctor, Cyberman, because the looks changed a little bit. There wasn't a big difference between, like Mechagodzilla, there wasn't a big difference between the Tom Baker and the Peter Davidson Cyberman, but there was a little bit. And so I was going to go for the Peter Davidson one. And no, I haven't had sleep. Sleep.
Okay, I am going to get these laced together so then I can see how the back will get attached.
Oh, interesting. David Stroh is saying, "Hey Odin, have you thought about making any Disney villain props like Jafar's staff or Genie's lamp?" I wouldn't really think Genie's lamp was a villain, but I guess it is when Jafar has it. But
It's a Disney prop.
it's a Disney prop. I haven't made very many Disney props. I think they all been hero props.
Yeah,
Right?
you've been kind of...
So I've made a couple of Onward
Heroes.
props. No, I made a villain prop. I made Maleficent's horns.
Yeah, and you made Darkwing Duck is technically not a villain, he's a good guy, but he's technically
he's
Disney.
an anti-hero, right?
But he's technically Disney.
He's technically Disney, right? So,
But...
do I have any other Disney props? I mean, not
Not
counting
really.
Marvel and Star Wars, right?
Oh, you
We're
have
kind of-
Onward. No, that's
Yeah,
Pixar.
it's
but
Pixar, but yeah, it's Disney.
It's owned by the same people.
Right. So I got two Onward props, both of which are hero props. I got Maleficent horns. I've got Darkwing Duck. Try to think if there was something else I've done now. That was Disney. Yeah, well, there's Kingdom Hearts, which is kind of roughly Disney. I mean, Mickey Mouse's head's hanging on it.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a hidden Mickey.
There's a hidden Mickey on those.
Not so hidden Mickey.
So?
Do we need this for the lacing of that? Because I just like this one better than the cording.
Yes, but I've got this, and there should be another one of these in. I mean, go ahead. I'm not going to get through
that today.
No,
so if I use it up.
If you use it up, it's not that big of a deal. Yeah, I gotta punch the holes. I have enough that I can do at least one.
Okay.
So you go ahead and use it. I'll just go get more.
All right, because I
But I
just
think
wasn't
I
liking
haven't.
the ends, but.
Oh, that paracording, right?
Oh yeah, do you have a lighter? That would fix this.
I do, but you can use the leather because it'll look better than woven nylon.
Yeah, well, I'm just doing it temporary right now so that we can get the stuff
okay.
on. It's not like.
Then yeah, here. So I'm digging in the background because I had some more of that leather at one point in time.
Cording?
In this part of the rat nest.
Oh, don't worry about it.
Okay.
We'll survive. It's not the end of the world today. We don't need it.
It is totally the end of the world today. This is it.
It is.
2-1 is it.
We kind of are lucky that we made it this far. I feel like
Yeah.
these
Pretty much.
that crazy that it's just nothing surprised me.
Right.
Welcome to the apocalypse.
Welcome to the apocalypse. Year 2.
Year 2.
Actually, we're not.
No.
No, we
Year
are.
1.
We're from our point of view, we haven't hit our March lockdown that we had yet.
Yeah, so we haven't been a full year.
It haven't been a full year yet.
Yeah.
But the reality of it being around and being aware of it and whatnot has been a year.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's your phone again.
Oh. Is it making noise?
No.
Okay, good.
I was going to grab my phone so I could reference something that I may not even show anyone. Double checking that I saw the right thing. Google Photos was reminding me that a year ago, this week, the Gundam head was being built.
And how long did that end up taking you?
We finished that in September, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. I think we finished it in September. So yeah, I've got...
Do you think Mechagodzilla will be done in September?
Yes. I think Mechagodzilla will be done in September. Do I think Mechagodzilla will be done before September? Yes. Not as confident. I really want to have Mechagod. The sad thing is I'm concerned that the cons still may not be appearing this summer.
Yeah.
You know, the Magic 8 Ball says outlook not good. But in case they are, I want Mechagodzilla done so I can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So we are an hour in.
Are we an hour in?
Phone mail.
Wow! We are an hour in. Well, it's the top of the hour. Welcome to the Odin Makes live stream. Hello, my name is Odin, and I'm here with the lovely Felicia.
Hello, how are you guys doing?
If you're interested, you can find both of us on Instagram. I'm, of course, at Odin Makes, and Felicia's
Ish87. Ish_87.
EESH_87. And if you really, really want to bother good old Joe, who's not here, that's Next Grade Gunpla, all ran together. We're just doing a live stream. We do a live stream every Monday right here on YouTube. It is 1 o'clock our time, and we, as I'm saying this, it's live. You've got about a 15-second delay. And what I've been trying to do for the past few live streams, because it's been consistent enough that I could, is open up mail at 1 o'clock. And if for whatever mood may strike you that you want to send me something that I would open up on the live stream, or if you want to send something to Felicia, or if you want to send something to Joe, there's a P.O. Box address right in the description. And feel free to send, and we will open it up live on a live stream. And if it happens to be something that's inappropriate for sharing, then we won't be sharing it, but it'll actually be open live here. I got a package while the live stream was happening. Yeah, well, yeah. Odin Makes here. It's, I haven't. It wouldn't take a super sleuth to figure out where we're broadcasting from.
No, especially since you had it on the outside of the boot.
Yep. But I've got a box from dickblick.com. So this came from Blick Art Materials. What could it possibly be? It doesn't weigh anything. I actually ordered it. It's about that size. How well did you pack this up? It can't get hurt, guys. They put bubble wrap on foam. Well, I guess it didn't bang around, so that's good. It wouldn't get scarred up. What I have is a roll of 4mm HD foam. There's been a few videos where I talked about how Blick Art Supply doesn't carry 4mm and I can't order it. I can order it now. They now have it. They finally got it in stock into January, and so yay! It's only available online. They don't have it in the stores yet, but that's okay because
You have some now.
I have some now.
What are you gonna make with that?
You know, I don't have a direct plan. At this point, I just kind of hoard foam a little bit. That way, when I know I want to do something, I can just walk over and grab what I want to grab. When I went to Blick Art this weekend, that's what I did. I bought some 2mm, some 6mm, and some 10mm foam.
Supplies getting low, running out of flour, sugar, and water.
Exactly. I realized, wait, I'm out of 2mm foam. Yeah. So, that's cool.
Yeah. I need to see the back view of Geralt.
Alright, you right ahead.
Where's the...
All I gotta say is, thank God they put bubble wrap on foam. Sorry, I bumped something.
That's okay. I lost the chat. But now I'm seeing what it looks like on the back. Oh, it swoops, but I think it's because it's the weight of the swords on it.
Yep.
Okay.
It's pretty cheap too. $10, $9.59.
Not bad.
No, I mean it's 4mm thick, so the floor mat foam is, about that. You get a package of floor mat foam, which is 4 pieces of this size, runs about $10. This is a centimeter thick. This is 10mm, right? But you're stuck with
The texture.
the puzzle pieces, and it is a much lower density foam than the HD foam. But what I think when it came down to usable surface of this versus usable square inches or of the rolls, the price is very comparable.
Yeah, and it's what you got.
And it's what you got, right?
I need this guy. Got Kevin here.
Game Badger 12. Who here is excited for Godzilla vs. Kong? I was watching the trailer again this morning. Again. Yes, actually watching it, frame by frame as one does. So the very, very first shot with the city, like regular people. Yeah, everyone does this, right? So the first couple shots, before the logos, the very first shot, you see a city exploding and something hits the building right in front of you. You're going frame. I'm going frame by frame, and it's like, oh, that's a very dark object with a spiny back. I'm wondering if the very first shot isn't more Mechagodzilla getting knocked around.
Or are you hoping?
I'm hoping. Well, there are two, not obvious because they're very quick cuts in the trailer, but there are two things that if you stop at the right frames, you could say are obvious that Mechagodzilla is in the film. The other things that make it, spoilers, obviously is in the film, toy leaks and comic book art. So it's pretty much...
Toys, yeah.
Yeah, because it takes, or at least it used to, with rapid prototyping, it may take less time now, but they used to have a year's lead time in order to get toys on the shelf the week the movie's out. So they would have to start doing the toys a year prior. And I think to some extent that's still the truth because Thor's Stormbreaker was different. They were using all the production design versions of Stormbreaker for all the toys, but then on set, which is still months out from the movie coming out, Chris Hemsworth goes, nah, I'll use one better, and he used a different, bigger, heavier, solid aluminum Stormbreaker. And so when I did mine, I went off the toys, and it's wrong. And then I put the handle on backwards to make it unique.
You need imagination.
Imagination.
Yes.
So it is possible, but unlikely, that the Kong acts will change. But I doubt that, because that's...
Yeah.
As a digital actor, I doubt King Kong is going to have a huge opinion on the look of the axe or how it feels.
Yeah, but they like to edit their artwork.
Yeah.
Because when I had to do the couple of the video game things for Smosh, I was doing it with the video games not out yet.
Usually.
And I had to do it off the game art, and I'm like, I hope this is the one that ends up out there. Because also you get different skins and different things, and
right.
Do I have the most iconic one?
I'm going to make the thermal katana. Wait, it's not even in the game.
Right? Yeah, I feel ya.
Yeah. At least I did that intentionally, so that wasn't a surprise. Although I almost made Chewbacca's bowcaster for the Solo movie.
And you should have still.
I should have still. It's not in the movie. Wow. I think I need a drink of water.
No water for you. No breaks, no sleep.
Well, I'm kind of there.
Right? Go get a drink of water.
Okay, Matthias... This is not Matthias. I know a Matthias, so I automatically say that, but it's not. It's Matutz Lebowski. I want to say Lebowski, but that's not it either. Please consider making the Hensel's mask helmet from the Umbrella Academy, because you have the helmet mask. You need only a suit, and the full cosplay is done. It's Mate USZ, and then it's almost Lebowski, but there's Lebowski. There's a vowel missing. And Hensel's. It says Hensel's.
Oh.
H-E-N, Hensel.
Hensel.
So I've seen the first 2 episodes of Umbrella Academy, loved it, but I haven't gone back to watch the rest.
I've seen them all because it kind of reminds me of my family because there's 7 of us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, except for we
fishnet
decided
guy?
that I was Diego.
Okay.
In my family.
All right.
There's 7 of us, and I'm Diego.
And you're Diego.
I'm Diego.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that bad?
No.
Okay.
It's just, we were laughing because me and my brother had watched it separately, and then we had all kind of both were like, and laughing about it, saying, yeah, I kind of imagined you as this one. He's like, that's what I thought I would be. And then we were kind of like joking around, okay, so my big sister would be this one,
Uh-huh.
But yeah. So I liked that show, and I thought it was fun, but yeah.
Yeah.
If I was a character, I'd be Diego.
Okay. But Hensel's, is that the fish in the
fish
bowl?
Those are the people that they wear these big giant.
Oh, so that's not it.
I want to say stuffed animal heads, but they're like these big mascot head. When they come in and shoot them up, I don't know.
Oh, is that the Hensel's? Okay.
Yeah, it's one of the people that in that one of the villains, without giving away spoilers or stuff. But yes, it's like a big head thing because they wear suits and then they have these crazy heads while they shoot them up.
Big head thing. Saw a trailer for a new Nicolas Cage movie, that at least one that hasn't been released yet. I don't know how new it is because last year was really weird for movies. Basically, it's a Five Nights at Freddy's movie with Nicolas Cage. He's in whatever Happy Time pizza place with the animatronics that look like the old showbiz animatronics that come to life at night. It's totally looks like Five Nights at Freddy's. Only, the tagline of the movie is the robot. He's not locked in there with the robots. The robots are locked in there with him. Yeah. I was like, okay. What's this, Mandy versus Five Nights at Freddy? All right. Anyway, totally happy to see that movie. It looks like trash. I'm totally happy to see that movie.
Right? Because you have low expectations. How can it disappoint?
Right. I'm not going to expect an earth-shattering or life-changing story event. I'm going to expect to be entertained for about 90 minutes.
All this stuff is getting everywhere.
Yeah. I set my pen down.
Did I steal it?
I don't think. The T-pin?
Oh, T-pin.
Pin, yeah. Not
I
pen.
thought you said pen.
Right. There it is. No.
Okay.
And I still have my Sharpie, too, so you didn't steal the pen either. So we got yet another noisy train clanging by. Train! We jump over to the Discord and see if something new popped in there.
Okay. I'm gonna loosen this shoulder up.
For whatever reason, Nicole's questions are always, food related. What's your ideal breakfast?
Well, it is lunchtime, so
well,
it is
lunch-
on like my mind.
Well, yeah, it's our lunchtime. Nicole's, coming to us from Miskatonic University.
If she hasn't eaten yet, she must be really hungry.
Oh, that's probably true. What is your ideal breakfast? And then I got a good one. What is your ideal combo of ingredients in a taco?
There are so many different good tacos.
There are so many different good tacos.
Like, especially being here in California.
Right.
So many good taco options.
So many good taco options. I do a lot of basic tacos. I like, the meat, cheese, and just, real basic is generally what I get. Like, I like they're kind of greasy, but I like the tacos from Jim Boy's.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
They have the one day a week. Every
Right.
Jim Boy's has a different day of the week, but where they have the Taco Tuesday.
Right.
For the one, there's one by my house that has it on Monday and one that has it on Sunday.
Oh, nice.
Where they have the $1.25 tacos.
Okay. I always thought it was just Sundays, but they're different for different locations.
It depends on the location.
You want to go to Jim Boy's when we're done? We don't have to.
I was trying to think of which one was the Monday one because they have
there's
different
one
days.
On Arden going close to what?
But is that one Monday or Sunday?
Well, I have no idea. I just go and get what.
I get the tacos on the taco day, and then I get like 12 of them.
Okay.
And a horchata.
Nice.
Just, Alright, I am either going to do the straps for the back, or I'm going to start cutting out the pattern for the front.
Okay.
I don't know which one I want to do.
Pattern for the front or the pattern for the back?
Well, the
that
back
was the front.
and the front don't need to line up, like looking at his, like, they just need an X.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I can just totally get the front figured out, and then, or I could do the back and mess up the back, and then.
Gotcha. So you need one pattern, and you just make it work on both because there isn't that big of a difference in shape.
Yeah, not really.
Okay.
And.
So to answer the other question about my ideal breakfast, when I go out to buy a breakfast, I usually buy a breakfast that's kind of like the whole farm on one plate, if that makes any sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you like the full English?
Yeah, I like the full English, sort of like the lumberjack breakfast or the
the potatoes, ham, mashed potatoes,
right,
or the ham, sausage, bacon,
right, hash browns, eggs, cheese,
country gravy and biscuits.
Sometimes, yeah. I haven't done that in a long time, but there was a place. There's a great restaurant that wasn't really great actually, but it was a fun restaurant, and the breakfast food was fine. It wasn't very far from here. It was called Little Joe's. I don't think they survived the pandemic.
Did they not survive the
I
pandemic?
don't know if they did.
They used to hire homeless people off the street all the time to help with it. They were like the sweetest people.
They were great. And
loved it.
I would come in, and the waitress go, "Oh, it's the breakfast special guy," because that's all I ever ordered from him.
It was down the street from Decade, so
Yeah.
I would always go eat there by myself. There's not very often places that I go eat by myself. But that's one of those places that it just...
Mm-hmm.
They didn't...
I don't know. Obviously, it was closed because everything was closed, but it looked to me more like it was perma-closed.
I hope
haven't
it's
been
not.
by. I hope it's not too. It was one of those fantastic restaurants that was a triangle building. It was built in between an alleyway and a non-square intersection.
It reminds me of that one famous painting where you look through the window.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah. It had a very iconic look to it.
It was totally a place that if you wanted a period place to go shoot a music video or thing, like a diner that could exist at any point in time, that was a place you could go.
Yeah. Yeah.
And all you ever had to do was maybe clean it. It was fine because it had 70s advertisements on the wall. Everything was chrome, so it was all very 50s with the bar and the Formica tables.
People working
tiny
there
little booths.
Yeah.
And the cook was huge. It was like the cook at Mel's in Attack of the Clones when Obi-Wan went into the restaurant. And the cook came out to the giant guy. The guy wasn't overweight, at least the one that I was talking to, but he was just a big dude.
Yeah. I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't remember him specifically. Right. I do remember a lot of the waitresses because they were people that I knew from working on the boulevard.
Right.
Because I knew all the people who would come into the shop and stuff. But
Sure.
yeah, it's been a while since I've been down there. Decades doesn't exist anymore, so I don't have an excuse to go there.
Right.
Yeah. People are talking.
People are talking. I'm talking. No.
Isn't black pudding cooked pig's blood? We are in the middle of the weirdest part of that.
You grabbed someone else's conversation.
Apparently.
Yes.
Yes. That's not on my breakfast plate.
Yeah.
Although there is that one Fox and Goose. I like their breakfasts. I
Fox and Goose, yeah.
I like going there to breakfast.
Fox
specifically.
and Goose is that's a British pub, right?
British pub, so you could get
That's
the full
downtown.
English and you could get a beer with your breakfast. You know, kind of.
They don't do breakfast that I'm aware of, but in Folsom, which is a little far away. You remember Folsom Prison? You guys heard of that? Yeah, that town. It's like within visual distance of Folsom Prison. There's the Fat Rabbit. It's another pub, and it's way more of a pub type pub. Where it's it's more of a public house, not like because Fox and Goose is modeled after a pub.
I like that one because I feel like I'm in some kind of English storybook.
There you go.
Like
sure.
I could be a Harry Potter character eating there.
Okay.
It really has those vibes.
Yeah.
But they have good breakfast, like really good breakfast with crumpets.
The Fat Rabbit. I usually get the what is it called? It's not the shepherd's. Wow, it's not shepherd's pie, but it's basically it's a piece of wood, and it's a bunch of stuff on the wood. So it's not like it is a meal, but it's like half a hard-boiled egg with really coarse ground mustard and onion jam and ham and a pile of salad and sliced cheese and just all this.
Yes.
On a big piece of wood. And I can't resist. It's not shepherd's pie, and it's not sheep herder's platter, but something like that.
It's one of those things.
Yeah.
If you saw it on the menu, you'd know that's the one.
It's one of those. Yeah, I have to look at the menu because I can't remember the name, but that's just my go-to when I'm going to order when I go there.
Okay.
And then whatever random, non-American beer they've got.
So I don't know if that helps Nicole at all, but she's not over here. If you visit,
right?
Some good breakfast places. Now, how about lunch, dinner, and...
Chances are with Nicole, it's not an if, it's a when.
It's a when?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was a when. Got to graduate from Miskatonic University first. Miskatonic University. I'll get it out right eventually. Okay. Maker JP says, in London, they have chips on the fry-ups.
Are we talking chips like we think chips, or are we talking French fries?
It's Maker JP. It's going to be French fries.
French fries?
Yeah. On the fry-up. So, chip and egg? Is that what you're saying? That's good too. Oh, and someone else was saying it's scrolled by the Nicolas Cage movie I'm talking about comes out on April 2nd, I think it is, or April of this year.
Oh, nice.
There it is, Willy's Wonderland. That's Nick Cage movie in question is called Willy's Wonderland. Comes out April 13th, 2021. Oh, really? Is it going to be Friday the 13th in April? The movies typically come out on Friday. Not always, but typically come out on Friday. Just like video games typically come out on Tuesday, or at least they used to.
Yeah.
I think home video did too for the longest time, that the street dates were Tuesdays.
I wonder why. There must be something.
Maybe to not compete with the Friday movies? I don't know.
Maybe.
So sorry for hammering right underneath the microphone, but I am trying to use a rubber hammer so it doesn't have the high-pitched ting that metal does. But, it's a maker channel, so I'm making.
I need a metal straight edge.
There's a couple of them there.
I know. Can't figure out which one I want.
Sweet. Craig Holden, Craig.
Okay.
I'm not awake enough to pronounce. Hi guys from Manchester, UK. Loving the armor at the moment. Hello, Manchester.
I'm thinking it's starting to look like...
It's coming. Yeah, it's starting to happen.
It's starting to actually look like once we get these...
Right. Your hair fell.
Yeah, I took out the pencil.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to use this one. I don't know.
That's fine.
But,
Right, because we've been making parts for so long, and now it's starting to...
Be a costume.
Be a thing, yeah. Be a costume.
Be an actual, look, and... We started out with the Pauldrons, which are going to be the last thing on.
Right. Well, yeah.
But it's kind of the first thing you want to get out of the way. all the knitting and the details.
And we were excited to play with the chainmail.
Yeah, no, and there's a lot of little pieces to build.
Yeah.
But yes, it's starting to actually look like a full-on.
Which I've often talked about Ben Eady with Foam Armor. He's the one that gave us the chainmail.
Yes.
I saw on, I can't remember if it's Instagram or Facebook, but he was posting working on a Lego Ecto 1. It was because Lego put out a big oversized collector series Ecto 1 from Ghostbusters because the new movie was supposed to be out. So the toy company got their manufacturing done and got stuff put out at the time.
So they have toys ready to go.
Yeah. Well, and they're out because they shipped. Even the movie got delayed. Well, my immediate response to Ben was, "Oh, you got another one to work on," and he said, "Yeah, this one's easier," because Ben works on stuff.
You mean he's a maker?
No, he's in the industry.
He actually does.
He actually, yeah. He actually worked on
Cool.
Ghostbusters. He worked on the Enterprise bridge for the Abram movies. He helped build the gimbal machine to make the bridge tilt and move. I think he worked on some of the sets for Inception.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
He's
So he's
smart.
really cool.
He's really cool, yeah. And it's great. It's fun talking to him because I start hearing all the stuff he's working on. I'm completely geeking out over who I'm talking to. It's like I'm talking to someone who's actually making these movies that I watch and big, massive sets that move and do stuff, which is all very impressive to me. And he's excited because he's talking to someone that's won Emmys for editing at the PBS station. It's like, dude, you won an Emmy? Like, yeah. So it's one of those, mutual admiration phone calls. It's great. I love it. I love talking to Ben.
Nice.
And same thing. It was one of those. Yeah, I'm out in California often. I'll come by and visit you. That was late 2019.
We all had good intentions
Oh,
in
we did.
2020. And now we just hope that eventually we will be
Yeah.
in contact again. So since this isn't quite long enough,
Right. Well, you can.
I'm gonna joint it right at the cross so we don't
Okay.
see the thing.
Do you
For-
need? Would it be? Does it matter to you if they're longer? Do you need them to be the right length?
No, they're gonna be covered.
Okay. And
There's just going to be a little bit of a line where they meet.
Right,
And
and-
you'll see that under the fabric, but I'm going to hide one under where they cross, and then
Okay.
the one that goes solidly over where they cross, I'm going to hide
okay.
it right here.
Right.
So,
Because I know it can be a weak point, so it can actually.
yeah.
'Cause
So,
that happened like Godzilla's neck. Okay.
yeah.
So I have a roll of this is longer, so.
I don't need it to
Okay.
be longer. I have to think of where I'm going to hide it, and I'm going to hide it in the cross, and I'm going to hide it in the side.
Inside. Cool.
Yeah. At least that's the plan so far. We'll see how it works. But pull this guy back out. Block the complete view of the camera so that I can.
There. It's Kevin's butt. All right. 13th of April is a Tuesday. Oh, really? Well, thank you, Bob. Big Bob's Props. I guess it's not a Friday. And so movies. Well, it is
Being
streaming,
released on a
so
Tuesday.
it's not a theatrical release. I'm old.
This
I'm used to theatrical stuff.
Okay, so if I do this one the full length,
Yeah.
I can do the little. See how it has that thing?
Yeah. The thing over here, the circle with the additional straps.
I think right here would be too far up, but I could at least hide that joint right where I attach the thing.
Right. Of course, it's on the other side.
Is it? You think you're right. Yeah, sorry. I'm looking at the picture and not doing the mirror. Or am doing the mirror.
Right. So, correct. You want that seam to go down that way,
As
like where your left hand is.
far Because I can also cheat it
If you want,
under
you
the
can mark your
pauldrons.
pattern so you know where you want your seam to go so you don't transpose it again.
Exactly. Thank you. I want it here and
What's he up to? That's a great question, which is any teasers for Wednesday? I'm making an axe! How's that? Martin, Bitchinski. Hey, Odin, where are the links for the patterns for the RX-78 tube build? I can only find the head. The head is the only pattern that ever got put up. So much of the pattern for making that was done on the fly and changed while we were building it, or it wasn't even fully patterned out to begin with. There isn't patterns. And then it's actually a lot of time and effort to go back and take these chicken scratch patterns that we put together that we can actually just use because we know what we're looking at, and turn it into something that you can download and actually use at home. And it becomes this question of, do I want to put a video out? Do I want to make a pattern?
Patterning takes a lot of time, and then digitizing patterning takes even more time.
And my patterns are pretty sloppy. My patterns are pretty simple and pretty sloppy, and it still takes time. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Doing a pattern is pretty much a full workday or more.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I get, what, 5? So I'm sorry to say the head is the only one that's there. Joe and I have mentioned it to each other, and I don't think it's going to happen. Just like I've had people ask me about the patterns for Mechagodzilla. It's kind of the same thing. There aren't really patterns for them.
You can print out the big reference picture
I
like
can
you did.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's what you're using for a pattern, more or less. I know I patterned the underpiece for you, but I just made a basic shell like this guy.
Right, which was great.
And then you got to build on top of that using your reference image. So it wasn't really, there was a pattern.
There was a pattern, but there wasn't a pattern to like print out, cut it out, glue it together so I can make one too, which is kind of unfortunate because that's a big plus with these types of channels like Odin Makes and a bunch of others that are all very cool and fun, and I would never say anything bad about any of them. But that sounds sarcastic. Wow. Actually, I really enjoyed watching William Shakespeare's Assassin Droid build recently, and Bill Duran's, he's doing some Skyrim armor. I think it was Skyrim, and that's looking really good. Bill Duran, I didn't watch his full video, but I've watched it. He's a really clean builder. His work is really, really clean and very precise, and Bill's very, very good. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can appreciate that. I'm just going to butt those together.
I'm going to give a hammer a break, and I'm going to play with
the lacing.
Yeah, you took some.
I did, but I used both, so you get that.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's fine.
Okay, I need to cut back. I need to drink a little
My brain is not working.
Your brain is not working?
Yeah, I gotta go this side. That's what I gotta do.
Yeah,
because then I got the wad on the inside, which is where I
the
need
Z, the cross needs to go to the back, and the
right, but I can't feed this through the holes. That was more my concern. If I start, how am I going to continue?
Yeah. Those slowly getting like so many things built up over here.
Happens. Like you've got my tea and you've got my water.
Yeah, and my phone.
And your phone. And my tape.
Yeah, you're not getting that back.
No.
Yeah, I need to clear this so that I could use my...
Cold tea.
Iced tea? No.
Could be. I mean, it could be iced tea. Any tea can be iced tea, really. Lapsang Souchong, if I pronounce that right, which I doubt I did. But that is the tea that I'm drinking today. Campfire tea. Tastes like campfire.
So many pieces.
So let me just answer, Nicole's question now. I'm drinking that. And hey, third train. Come here. Oh, Darren Calvin says Little Joe's is indeed permaclosed, from what he can tell.
Oh, that's sad. Well, I liked them, and I appreciated what they did for the community.
Yeah.
I genuinely did. Sorry. Well, I actually don't need it to be a precise edge because I'm folding it over, I'm just gonna cut it.
Okay. Oh, I gotta get down there.
Where?
World Class Textiles, right?
Yeah.
First class, world class.
World Class Textile.
World Class Textiles. I want to get the spandex for the, I still think spandex is the right answer for Mechagodzilla's joints.
You want to do that silver kind of spandex?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be the super silver, like Apollo suit silver, but...
No, yeah, but that red fabric that was really shiny, they have a silver version of that should work. And that stuff's really easy to work with.
Right. And it was a heavier grade lycra. It's almost just gray in the movie. It isn't, very silver at all. I could get, like, mouse gray, it'd be fine.
Yes, but yes, world class. I'd go there for.
John Russo, did I make a template for the Mandalorian blaster, or did I just use reference images? I just used reference images. In fact, I think because I built it before the show was released, what I did is I found a picture of the blaster on Instagram that somebody on set posted. Like the prop guy or... Kinda. I think it was an intentional leak. It wasn't a leak.
But an excitement leak.
An excitement leak. And so it was this very skewed, square picture of Instagram, and the rifle's sitting on top of a table or something. And so it's this big diagonal where the stock is close and the forks go out, away. And so this, perspective shot. And so I looked at that and then looked at some of the artwork where you can see it on his back and tried to figure out what the dimensions were between those two things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as it looks visually proportional.
And I think actually at D23 that year, they had the mannequin set up with the costume and the tuning fork rifle was on his back. So I think I found pictures from D23 from people that had posted as well. So it really, the rifle was known.
So it wasn't a
The phase pulse blaster was known, yeah. His rifle from the Star Wars Holiday Special, where the very first thing he shoots in The Mandalorian is the creature coming up out of the water attacking the ship, which is exactly what he does in the Holiday Special. Made me happy.
That's nice.
It had easily 3 Holiday Special references in the first 2 episodes. And I think only one of them was blatant.
On purpose, or?
Oh, I'm sure they're all on purpose. Just one was
A little in your face about it?
Yeah, in your face. Because the one with him, with that rifle, shooting the beast, coming up out of the water, grabbing the ship. Because in the cartoon, a beast comes up out of the water and starts eating Luke's Y-Wing fighter. And so he shoots it and the beast runs off. So it's that's a little more of a stretch than it being, a real blatant, here's the ice cream maker from Empire Strikes Back with the Beskar armor stored in,
Not to spoiler anything, but I was watching the WandaVision,
Okay.
and you remember how we were talking about out-of-place props and they can kill it for you?
Yeah.
There was a jump rope that was a cord, and I couldn't unsee the jump rope.
But it was a jump rope.
It was supposed to be a cord. That's how they were supposed to pull him back in. But it was a jump rope.
Yeah, but it became a jump rope because a thing happened and the cord became the jump rope. I think it was very intentional for it to be a jump rope.
I thought it was supposed to be bright and colorful, but I was like, did they purposely use a beaded jump rope? Because that's totally a beaded jump rope.
It was totally a beaded jump rope, and I assumed with the way the world mechanics were set up within the episode that the cord that was tied for pulling the guy back became a jump rope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I thought it was supposed to be just a colorful cord, and I'm like, that's a jump rope.
Okay. Right.
Okay. So
No,
it was supposed to be.
I think it was supposed to be. Yeah. That was my take on it. Oh, cool! It's a jump rope. That was my take on it. Right. Like that's what happened to it. Not. Why did they use that?
Okay. You went. Okay. They meant to use a jump rope. When I was going, why are they using a jump rope as a cord?
Right.
Okay.
Yes, I think reality was altered, and that's what it became.
There's mud on this.
It was, yeah. The cover wasn't on it for a while, a week or two, and
Yeah.
So I do a lot of grinding with Dremels, and then I've got a bandsaw that creates dust, and then there's a train that goes by. This is a very dusty place. So, yeah, our sewing machines needs cleaning.
So good.
So, yes, WandaVision. Fourth episode was great. Very much enjoying where it's going.
Yeah, I think it was needed.
It was needed, yeah. I enjoyed the other ones, but I knew that it was going to do something, so I didn't care. I was happy to let it run at its own pace and do what it's going to do. But, yeah, yeah. George is saying it's going to be a whole watch party with the director of Willy's Wonderland. Really? I have to go look at that a little higher. That's interesting. Because I saw that a comment, I think on Reddit earlier today, that streaming is great and the easy organization of having the availability of streaming media is great. But they missed the behind the scenes, they missed the commentaries, they missed the extras that you would get on
DVDs.
Yeah, and I can agree with that.
Those were kind of like an extra special to get you to get the DVD over the VHS, and then it was like the whole reason to buy it as opposed to just having the digital version.
Right. And you can get some special edition digital versions, but they're few and far between.
Yeah. No, I think I definitely appreciate watching those, how they made it,
right,
and the drama and the story behind the scenes.
That's actually why I bought Laserdiscs, because they actually had that.
Right? That was the perk on marketing.
In fact, director's commentaries, to my memory, started with Laserdiscs.
So
I mean, I think they had
Netflix
records, but
just have that?
Right, I don't know.
I don't know. Like, you want to be competitive, put in a maker.
Put it in. I know I've got at least one digital movie on Amazon that was a special edition and had all that stuff, so it becomes more chapters or more add-on videos that you have access to.
Yeah. The behind the scenes, or when they had those fun little games that weren't really that fun, but you wanted more from the movie. You weren't over it yet.
Right. God, DVD games were clunky.
Right. Although I did appreciate the Kimmy Schmidt, like, your own story, make your own adventure video.
I remember it, but I don't think I did it. I remember hearing about it, or...
Yeah, I watched it, and I watched it a few times, all the different variations. It was fun, and I thought that was a really fun way that we can now do storytelling. Modern stuff. It's not modern because those are based on those 80s books. Those Choose Your Own Adventures, but...
No, Black Mirror did something like that. On Netflix, right? Black Mirror's Netflix.
Yeah.
They had a Choose Your Own Adventure story.
Yeah, I think Netflix did a few of them.
Yeah, which is really very cool. And then I have a DVD of the old Dragon's Lair and Space Ace games, which were Laserdisc games from the 80s. And that translates pretty well to the DVD. It was never a good home computer game because it was always pixelated, but once you could actually scan the animation, this is all hand animation by Don Bluth. So once you could have that animation from Dragon's Lair and from Space Ace. Okay. Don Bluth from like All Dogs Go to Heaven and The Rescuers. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I know that name.
Yeah.
I watched those DVDs extras.
So you could actually play the game, because in the 80s that's all it was. It was a Laserdisc player, and that had just enough of an interface that it kind of pretended like it was a game. You know, you had to make the right move during the right time, and then you would move. The story would continue, and if you did the wrong move, then it would jump chapters, and Dirk died.
You don't want Dirk to die.
You don't want. He's the adventurer. He's going to go save the princess Daphne. You don't want to have that to happen. You don't want him to die.
Well, we might, but
you might, yeah. If you're rooting for the dragon.
Think of the dragons.
Yeah, think of the dragons.
They're a rare species. There's plenty of humans. You can make more.
Yeah. 9 months, you got a new human. How long does it take to make a dragon? Chocolate Milkman. Twice. Hi, Odin. Now that I have your attention. No, you don't. Have I ever considered making an NCR veteran helmet? Not seriously. It's one of those things that I think I've got on the possibilities list, but I've never really went, okay, I could do this, I could do that, I could make this. I know I've got a friend that had made a really good NCR Ranger outfit, and I was really taken with the weathering that he had done on his, like the lower parts of the clothes, the stuff that's really closer to the ground. For whatever reason, there's this weird detail that I picked up on, because he really chewed up the bottom of his pants, really chewed up the bottom of his big leather duster that he's wearing.
Logical wear?
Logical wear, yeah. And
I like it when it has logical wear.
And it was like, craft glue and spray glue with dirt and stuff on it. So it was actually
really would
caked.
give it that wax.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I can appreciate that.
He later pointed out that the helmet was Pepakura. It was just paper taped together, but I was so focused on the rest of the costume, I never picked up on that.
Honestly, with a great outfit, you
Right.
can distract from your mistakes by having one really good prop or one really,
Right.
just do the right thing right. And,
I think I told you this before. There was a Death Trooper that I was talking to at SACCon like a year ago. Great, again, looks like just the all-black Death Trooper from Rogue One and The Mandalorian, right? And I'm complimenting him on having the MP40 pouches on his bandolier and a few other things. And then he says, "Well, I appreciate all the things you're seeing, but have you noticed that what I'm the lower part of my costume? It was just black BDUs and black Crocs. He didn't have armor at all. It was just black pants and Crocs." Nope, didn't see it at all.
No, you won't.
Nope, I was looking at him from the waist up.
Which is great.
Right.
Especially if you know that in the back of your head, it kind of gives you that little bit of sigh of relief that you can
Right.
wear it to the con and nobody's going to be like...
Yeah, nobody's going to be right. Which, yes.
And if they are, say thank you for noticing. I appreciate that you like my costume enough to notice those details.
Yes. And that's something definitely to take to heart and to remember for any of you who are aspiring to get something built together for a con and may not feel confident with yourself about your abilities, about how it's going to end up looking. We're talking about costumes that had, a paper helmet and the lower half of a stormtrooper was just black cloth. It'll work. Don't worry about it. Don't be too hard on yourself. Just get the costume put together enough that you can go and that you're happy with it, that you can go. And then the next con, when they come around again, you can improve on it.
Honestly,
and build on it.
So many costumes can be built off of Ren pants and a Ren shirt.
Yeah.
Or
right.
a button-up shirt, black or white button-up shirt. Every guy should have a black button-up shirt in their closet and a white button-up shirt in their closet. I'm just saying, it makes life as a costumer easier. Do you have a black button-up? Okay, now we can build all of these costumes off of that.
Right.
I'm just saying.
No.
Because it's a collar. Like, even with this
Right.
Geralt costume, if we don't end up building that collar, you could just throw on a collared shirt and you have a
And you have
black
a collar.
collar.
You just keep the tips of the collar tucked in, and you've
Yeah.
got the collar. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I see
and it's
it.
comfortable and it fits you. You
Right.
could do pirates. You could do. It's just a good base piece.
Yeah.
And then black pants, pair of black pants that fit you well. We
Right.
rented velvet pajama pants all the time as Ren pants because velvet was
Oh.
really a good black.
Yeah.
Because blacks aren't
Velvet
all.
pajama?
Yeah, no, blacks aren't all created equally. So
No.
if you want to like a black pirate pant or a black Zorro,
Right.
you can have the black cotton, which is going to have a faded black. You can have
Right.
a satin black, which you can get. It tends to green over age, but you know,
Yeah.
like there's some shading within the black. It's not always pure black. But if you want a really good camera black, is a black velvet.
Yeah.
Black velvets look really good, so black velvet pajama pants, because there's just a elastic waistband, fits
Uh-huh.
multiple sizes,
Right.
and maybe some elastic in the ankles. Most of the time not, because you just tuck it into boots.
Actually, if you took black velvet pajama pants, especially if it had elastic at the ankles, and you take the ankle elastic and put it up around your knees and let the rest of the pants fall down, Star Trek pants.
Yeah, no,
Yep.
totally did that.
Yep.
So many characters. Base pants were just black Ren pants. They were just black
Okay.
pajama pants. I like the velvet ones for the colors, but you know,
Right.
there's also sometimes where you wanted the aging, so you wanted the cotton, or you wanted the thing, or you wanted
Right.
the stripe, or you wanted the twill, or you wanted the satin, but it's color at that point for me, but yeah. The basics are simple and they're easy, and it's the stuff that you do on top that really makes costumes.
Right.
It's the accessories that really make things fun.
coming from a professional.
Yes. All right, well, I did one. I should do another one.
Yeah, it's looking great.
Does that look like the belt?
Yeah.
Strap?
Yeah. Totally. And it's foam.
And it was easy to stitch through, and we can just glue it directly to him.
Yeah.
Isn't that nice?
It
And
is.
what's really nice is when I was putting that up, although I fudged things around, this is going to be able to just fudge
Right.
enough that I didn't have to over pattern it. I could just stick with the straight line.
Okay.
After all of that,
After all that, you're just going to make it straight anyway and just kind of force it.
yeah. And that's
It's all
what
plastic.
I
You warm it up, and
Yeah.
if you want, if you want to warm it up.
And that's
yeah.
what I was noticing when I was doing the thing, that it was staying pretty consistent, and I could do it with this, and there's enough flexibility within this to make it happen.
Nice.
So, yay for not having to overthink things.
Right. Or for realizing you've overthought things and you can pull back on it.
Yeah. Put this guy.
What's happening in chat?
Yes. Hi, people.
What's he up to? Hey Felicia, do you have any sewing tips for a sewing noob trying to make a tunic?
Okay. Making a tunic. Do you have armhole sleeves or not? Because it's easy. Sleeves can make things complicated. You don't
Yeah.
necessarily need them.
No?
And you don't necessarily need a seam there. There's
Don't overthink it?
no, I'm genuinely trying to think of different.
No, I meant the tunic. Don't overthink the tunic.
Yeah,
Sorry.
start at the armhole, work your way down.
Okay.
So if you start at your neck and work your way out. So
Oh,
if
okay.
you're sewing at your shoulder seams, don't sew to your neckline. Sew to your
To your shoulder seam.
shoulder seams. If you're sewing your center front seam, sew away from your neck. Ouch.
Right.
Sew down. So away from your neckline and away.
Okay.
Because
If things
you
move.
want your neckline to line up and things to line up easily, but you can always hem and trim things.
Yeah.
And you may have your fabrics exactly the same length when you start, and they may be pinned exactly together when you're sewing, but the feed dogs at the bottom of the sewing machine feed your fabric through the bottom,
Right.
and you're feeding it through the top, so they don't always feed at the same time. So if you ever want to gather anything, you put your gathering fabric, the fabric you want to gather, on the bottom, so the feed dogs feed it in
Okay.
to the top. So it's very easily that fabrics will end up not the same at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So you always want it to be on the seam away from you.
Okay.
So start from the inside, sew outwards.
This is brand new information to me and makes a lot of sense.
So-
Feed dogs I've experienced.
No, I'm trying to think of genuine helpful tips of
Yeah,
things
no,
that
that's-
I've struggled with, and that one's one of the ones. Sewing outward. When I line up seams, I match the seams and I pin the seam joint.
Okay.
Whether the seam allowance I fold open and I pin it there, or I fold it to one side or the other to help with the bulk and the weight of it. But I pin where the seams meet. And then you should think about how you finish your edges, so it's not just a straight line stitch.
Okay.
You think it's going to be easy of just doing a straight line, but depending on the fabric, it's going to fray and pull. And so you might have to finish the edges with a zigzag, or you might have to fold under and stitch, or you might have to pink and stitch. But you should be thinking about how if your edges are going to fray, what you're going to do about that.
Gotcha. And most fabrics are going to fray, especially if you're using a period fabric or period type fabric.
Not necessarily. Knits
Really?
don't really tend to fray. Vinyls don't tend to
Well, no.
fray. Tunic, like felts aren't going to fray, but your wovens, your classic woven fabrics, you're going to have to think about that.
Yeah.
So, seam finishes, which don't have to be over thought about, but if you sew just one line and it kind of starts to fray and come apart. You can also just line it, which is also a way of finishing the seams.
One of the things I've seen at judging for Comic Cons, or Sacramento Comic Con anyway, a big thing with any costume that's sewn has to be lined.
Why?
I think it was just part of the requirements for, but that was the thing I was looking for. Is it lined? It was interesting.
Like, get it because it's that level of professionalism. But
Right.
if you finish your seams correctly,
Sure. I think also it was if you're being they're being a judge, so they have to be judgy.
so you have to have something to tick off,
Yeah.
and that is definitely something you
You
could
can tick off.
easily. Yes, no.
Because
When-
you're actually being asked to, judge.
I have been a judge. I've
yeah, I bet
judged
you have.
costume contests, and the last thing I judged was a fashion show. And one of the things we did look at was construction, and
Okay.
it wasn't we didn't dock for not having things lined, but the people that lined their stuff
Gotcha.
had better
Better.
quality in their construction.
Okay.
And there's obvious a level of
Skill and profession.
yes, finishing edges make a big difference.
Yeah.
So, and one other tip for a new sewer is press as you go. So iron as you sew will make your stuff look
Right.
amazing versus homemade.
Right.
So after you sew a seam, ironing it. And I know that sounds really stupid, but it makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
Of everything fitting together, being together, working together, coming out clean. So stitch as you go.
Or
Iron
iron
as you go.
Yeah.
Iron as you stitch. Yeah, stitch as you go.
One of those things. Yeah.
Yeah, one of those
Pre-
things.
press your seams.
Press your seams.
Get depressed. No.
Yes.
Thank you, Sean Fowler. Sean Fowler just says, "Hello, Odin. You are one of my favorite DIY cosplay artists. You inspire and motivate me. I love what you're doing." Thank you, Sean. Sean didn't say that about you.
That's okay. I'm not a YouTuber.
No, fair enough.
I'm behind the scenes.
Connor Cook in Sing Song. Question time with Odin and Felicia. Yeah. That's
Please,
the point of the
I love
live stream,
answering
right?
questions, especially crafting ones. I have tons of opinions about things.
Dan Does Junk is warning us. Hey, Odin. Us.
It's almost 2:00 and it's time to start signing off.
I have something coming your way.
Oh. Okay, that's better. That's awesome.
Oh, okay. Craig Holden, and then I was afraid to say his last name. He spelled it out here so my American brain can get it. Run Seaman.
Okay.
Yeah, Run Seaman. Okay. So Craig Holden, Run Seaman. All together is how you say my last name. Could you use magnets to hold the straps? Could you use magnets to hold the straps instead of gluing them?
Yes, you could, and I like using magnets a lot.
Yeah,
They're one of my more
magnets are
favorite
fun.
things to do.
They're magical.
But I would use Velcro over magnets because we're going to be putting the Velcro on the shoulders for the pauldrons anyways.
Right. And the Velcro is going to have more
Yeah.
strength.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the magnets will just slip.
Yeah, and also you could just put it right there and you could strap it and you don't even have to have it.
Right.
Where magnets, I feel like they pop off and then they're gone. They have the strong connection, but then they slide, they get knocked.
That was more my thought. The magnets are really strong this way, but they're really weak this way.
Yeah, they don't have
Yeah.
shear strength.
Yes.
So like when you're moving and like
At least with just two magnets together, I'm sure you could build an
even
array
if
that
you
would
have
have shear
multiple
strength.
magnets
Yeah.
moving, you're gonna pop it off.
Right.
So I wouldn't recommend magnets, but I would recommend Velcro.
And also, I can see with Velcro, you'd have another spot of like almost adjustment type of a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to glue it in place. You're not going to need to adjust it. But if you use Velcro, you could go, "Oh, that's wrong." Eh.
Yeah, move
Or-
it slightly
or
down, slightly
You
up.
could
Yeah.
even make the outside belt bigger, which would pull the armor out and to give you a little more room behind it or whatever.
Yeah, so I would use Velcro or snaps.
Or snaps,
If
right?
you use snaps, you could use...
Our guard costumes were held together with snaps.
I would not use magnets, though. And I like magnets, and I'm always like, can we use
Right.
magnets? No, I wouldn't use magnets on this.
Yeah.
Hope that helps. No magnets.
Old Crafty's got a great question in all caps. Odin, how many helmets have you made? Many. You know, I've never counted. I would have to go back through. Okay, just ignoring any helmet that existed before channels. I would just go back and look at my video log and see how many helmets I made. Yeah, there's still a few pre-channeled because, like, there's the one from Beyond Geek and.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've stolen them from you.
Yeah, there's been a few. I got 2.
It's looking good.
Thank you.
It really.
So that's the half.
But these details make a big difference.
Oh, it does. Yeah.
Yeah. They think that's how he really probably would have had it stitched, but screw that.
Right. Not these pure decorative. It's one piece laced. So you got a vinyl cover on top of a 2mm wet the foam backing, and this is actually leather lacing that's ran through the holes you were hearing me hammer earlier. And there's your foam chainmail, and then sewing machine.
Sewing machine.
Computerized sewing machine that's smarter than me.
I like pushing buttons and it working. And honestly, I like specifically Brother because not all abstract stitches are created equally, and I have a use for the abstract stitch. And
I want to make sure I'm hearing this right. Earlier you talked about having 7 siblings, and now you're saying that you like to push the buttons of your brother.
oh, of course,
Okay.
I can do it like nobody's business.
All right.
Yes, no, Brother sewing machine
Right.
has a lot of stitches, specifically the abstract stitch, which is, what number on this one? I'm not even, 16.
16.
Yeah, anyways, those aren't all created equally, and abstract stitches are great for attaching lace or trims and things like that where you don't actually want to see your stitch lines and they go invisible.
Right.
And
Yeah, you're telling me you use abstract stitching on lace all the time with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To attach lace, and it. So that's why I specifically like this brand, because I know their stitch works.
Cool.
And I've had this one through college, and I used and abused it, and I can stitch without the feet part. I can just stitch with my fingers.
Right, which is neat.
Yes, no, I love this thing. I've had it before, and I bought it again.
Okay.
And Death Star couldn't handle it.
Right.
Poor little Death Star.
Poor little Death Star. You
I
were excited
tried.
about Death Star too.
I
When you got
really
it.
like that. Was supposed to be an industrial machine. It was supposed to be tough. It was supposed to be amazing, but it wasn't. I was very disappointed in the one I had because the other ones. I'm just gonna zigzag this together real quick.
Go right ahead. Pro Dream Crusher says, "Hey Odin, would you ever do a collaboration with Punish Props Academy? You are both my 2 favorite prop channels." I would love to do a collaboration with Bill and Brett. I've got to meet them once at Dragon Con, and I thought they were both fantastic people. I enjoy their channel. I've watched a lot of the videos, especially when I was doing DIY Prop Shop. I don't watch as many of the videos now because it is such a habit to emulate other people that I get kind of afraid of emulating them.
It's like when you're in college and you don't want to get in trouble for perjury.
Right.
And so you read
For perjury, yeah.
You don't want to copy word for word, so you have to read it and then do it in your own words.
Right.
And if you just read it, of course those are the right words.
Exactly. So, yeah. But yeah, no, they're very talented. I'd love to do a collaboration.
Post-pandemic.
Post-pandemic. At least we're in the same time zone.
Right?
Right. So Punish Props Academy, Odin Makes, and Evil Ted, we're all in the West Coast. We're all in the same time zone. We all just happen to be, 8 hours apart from each other, I think, actually. Punish Props is a little further. I think there's a farther drive than 8 hours. But it's about 6, 7, 8 hours for me to get to Ted, and probably about 10 for me to get to Punish Props.
Yay for them.
As a drive, because I drive. Apparently, I don't fly places.
Well, not right now.
Not right now, no. Trevin Hines or Odin, are you willing to collaborate with any smaller YouTubers, and what advice do you have for smaller YouTubers? That's a great question, because I lucked out, and I don't know of a better way to put it. I was working for Smosh, right? And so then I got a chance to do a build video for a sister channel that was owned by the same people. And then I was able to string viewers and do a call out to my own channel based off of the history that I had with being behind the scenes on Smosh, and then having a number of episodes with DIY Prop Shop, to where I was a small YouTuber, but very briefly. Still technically am really small, but
Because you
as
are your
far as-
one-man show almost.
Yeah.
Not anymore, but...
There's a good one. still pretty much a one-man show, and I'm not, but I am because it's all family still. And actually, Bill and Britt are kind of the same way as far as I know. Well, they've got people working with them now, but it's going to be just you, yourself, and anyone else who's willing to do it for free working on the channel. And I had some friends that were willing to come out and be a cameraman for a while because literally telling me, what else am I going to do? And that worked for a while, but that was mostly through DIY Prop Shop. It was more sporadic. When I started trying to put stuff out on a consistent basis, I didn't feel like I could ask my friends to come out and be a cameraman and get a Happy Meal out of it. That's just not cool. So definitely, whatever you're doing, make sure that you can handle doing it yourself.
And if your friends help you, feed them.
And if your friends help you, yeah, feed them.
Like,
bare minimum, feed them.
People like being fed.
Yeah.
And will totally work for food.
Yes.
So I've been there, done that.
Mm-hmm.
I like
I've read about that on, yeah, pizza's great. Pizza's an easy one.
Don't overdo it pizza all the time, though.
Steve Wang. So this is a sculptor, has been around for a while. He's done a few small projects, so like the Guyver movie, which was in the 90s, but he actually sculpted the suits and directed the movie. He also sculpted it was this superhero, I don't know if you heard of him, Batman. He actually sculpted the second Batman suit, the one for Batman Returns. He didn't design it, that was Bob Ringwood, but he did the work of sculpting it. So Steve Wang is a fantastic, fast, and accurate sculptor. He did a movie called Kung Fu Rascals. Kung Fu Rascals I found in a magazine. It was an article about it, again in the 90s, early 90s. And it was all about how Steve Wang was doing this on Super 8 film, no budget movie. It was full of all the creature effects because that's what he was into, and he was having his friends help him do it. And one of the big quotes in the article that I remember is, "It's amazing what you can get someone to do if you give them a Happy Meal." Genuinely. So long story to get to that punchline, but anyway, that was, yeah.
Any of the problems that I've had is they haven't fed me.
Yeah, exactly.
Any of my issues, just feed me.
My brain isn't working. I need some food.
Substance. Anyways, but yes.
Yeah. And then coming back to Evil Ted, Ted is actually good friends with Steve Wang and has worked with them on little movies like Kung Fu Rascals. So Evil Ted Smith is in Kung Fu Rascals. I think he's the sheriff of Rottingham. And he was one of the characters, the not in the face character, because they're always doing, the Kung Fu fighting. It's like, no, don't hit me in the face. So I believe that in those instances, both, those are Ted. And then Ted's one of the Mega Titans that comes up out of the ocean. Because the whole end of the movie, this no-budget movie, ends with, Godzilla-sized stone titans battling it out on the beach. One comes out of the cliffside, one comes up out of the ocean. And Ted's the one in the suit that came up out of the ocean.
Lucky Ted.
Lucky Ted. Steve is the one that came out of the...
I always liked it when I got to play the...
Yeah.
I just want to show what I'm doing real quick.
Oh, sure.
I guess this one?
You want it back on three?
I guess. I was just showing that this fabric, even though I'm using it there, I'm not sewing on it. It's there so that the fabric goes smoothly between the top
because the foot will stick to the vinyl?
Because it's getting caught on the vinyl, giving me little wrinkles.
Oh, okay.
And it's just getting stuck, so you can have a Teflon foot, which helps with smoothing things down.
Right.
If I'm doing non-stick fabric, I often put a little Post-it note.
Okay.
Because it's just a little square that's easy to adjust while you're sewing, and I have it just on the edge so that it's out of my way and I can adjust it. But it's just there. I'm not sewing this piece to it.
Right. You just got the vinyl against the vinyl because that sticks.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's not sticking and wrinkling.
To the foot.
Yeah.
Because the feed dogs are going to push it no matter what.
Yes. The bottom is fine. It's the top that was getting caught.
Because the feed dogs actually lift the fabric up as well, right?
Yeah, they push it. They
Yeah.
push. The little triangles that all push.
Okay.
So this, I'm just putting it right under the edge where I'm not going to stitch. And then I'm just keeping it where I'm stitching it, and it's just making it all actually go smooth, because if I don't have it, it starts to get the little bubble.
Yeah, I've seen that.
So
I've had that happen to me.
instead of I'm lifting it up, smoothing it down, going on, I'm just using this to help go on.
Nice.
I just wanted to stop and explain what I was doing so that anyone who actually wants to try.
So it's a pro tip for a noob. Going back to that question.
As people who want to try using a sewing machine, it's not so scary.
Right.
But you run into stupid issues like this that make you want to kick it and go, no.
Gotcha.
It's just, yeah. But that's one of those things.
That's cool.
It's not always easy, but there's workarounds.
Yeah. And that seems obvious once you know it. But as a problem to solve, I don't. Yeah. I think I would just kind of get frustrated and complain to the foot and keep going.
Yeah, no, you can lift it up, but it just.
I think I've sewn through paper.
Yes.
Okay, I think I've done that.
I use tissue paper, but then you have to pull it out.
Right, because it gets caught because
Yeah.
you've sewn it.
But you can just put it on the edge, right, not quite to where you sew, so it would still technically, you can use paper. I'm using this because this is what I have.
Right. So you're on the last little bit of that side?
Yes. And then
It
we have
is
straps.
2:10. So our live stream ideally runs from noon till 2 every Monday. This is Pacific time where we are. It is past 2. It is also our habit to run past 2, so this isn't too out of the norm. But
I'm almost to a stopping point.
yeah,
I'm to a good spot.
almost getting to a good stop. Good stop.
Good spot. Hey, we got some of the stitching almost done.
Yeah,
we
we got
got
some-
the strapping patterned out and started.
We both sat and actually did something.
Yeah,
most
I
of the
don't
time.
think we
It
were as
wasn't.
talkative though.
I don't know. I
With the
think.
chat.
Well, maybe
Yeah.
not. I think we talked a lot though.
Yeah.
I'm hoarse. Or feels like it.
Okay.
So the Predator is asking Odin, father of Thor, may you make a Predator biomask? So the Predator is asking me if I'll make a Predator mask. That is another one that's been on my list since DIY Prop Shop, and I have interest in making a Predator biomask. It just hasn't happened. And that is one that there's some projects that almost happen and the last minute don't. That one hasn't even gotten that close, but it's there, and it's one of those things like, oh, I should do that. So,
I think it's going to look good when it's finally.
yeah.
I don't even think we really need these, other than there's my where I'm planning on going,
Need what?
my lines and my tape.
Oh, okay.
'Cause other than it's just where I'm planning on putting things. But this is gonna be fine. You can't
Yeah.
even see my seams, and all I did was
No.
butt them together and zigzag them. And
Right. So you sewed the seams. You didn't.
no,
you
this
didn't
one I
glue-
glued.
Oh, okay.
This one I
Oh.
glued just because I didn't want to deal with it.
Okay.
But then I was too lazy to wait for glue to dry, so I zigzagged it, and this way
Sure.
worked better. It's gonna be glued on,
Yeah, that's true.
but yes. So there.
That's awesome.
So.
Well, I remember hearing. Well, yeah. Skylar was telling me that they were success with sewing what the foam.
Yes,
And I think you
it
can-
sewed very nicely. Like this,
Right.
we did a little bit thicker. We did that.
Right.
And this went fine. The straight stitching goes fine. It was when we zigzagged over this texture.
Right. Over this texture with and 2 layers of what the foam with vinyl.
2 layers of what the foam with the how many layers are within those textures of each
Right.
of those. Anyways,
2 to 3. Yeah.
zigzagging that didn't work because
No.
going from side to side, jumping around made the needle. But going a straight stitch went fine with that and
Sweet.
went great with this. So sewing this foam is great.
Cool.
I like it.
All right.
So definitely works well. So we got the straps ready. We can do the smaller straps and finish it up next week. And yeah.
Chris Wolf said that he made the spell book. I assume the spell book that I had made.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the spell books for his Godzilla deck. Awesome.
Did you put a Godzilla on the front?
Possible. I don't know.
Was it green? What color?
I don't know. What color, Chris?
Okay. Any good questions?
Um.
I've been trying to give you guys all my sewing
Right.
knowledge, but it's hard to filter off what do you need to know.
Dan Does Junk's got a great question of, do we have any more of the secret stuff foam? Yes, we still have a few sheets of the foam that doesn't exist. Yes. We didn't use it all up.
I think we're done with the amount of chainmail that's on this outfit, though. Front, the back, and the
Daffy,
pauldrons.
can you demonstrate that stitch for us? A zigzag stitch?
The zigzag? There's 3-stitch zigzag? Well, it didn't work.
Well, the 3 stitch on this didn't work,
Oh.
but the stitch on that worked.
Wait,
We're talking.
what does she want to see? Can you demonstrate that stitch for us?
That's all Daffy said. Yeah.
Oh, maybe she was wondering about the abstract stitch because I was talking about.
Oh, that's probably, yeah. The abstract stitch kind of looks like an EKG.
Yes.
And yeah, it's because it's got like a medium peak, and then it comes down, and it's got like a high peak, and it's got another peak, and then it's just
I
a
have
zigzag.
a picture on my phone comparing 2 different sewing machines, zigzag stitch.
I bet you do.
I'll bring it next week so that you guys can see it. Okay.
Somewhat Handsome says, "Hey Odin, if you were to suggest one of your previous projects for a prop making beginner, which one would it be and why?"
You have a lot of good beginner props.
I have yeah. One of the ones that I would immediately comes to mind is going to be the Spider-Man web slingers, web shooters, which so many comments are like, they don't shoot. It's like, what is he going to call them?
Wrist
Right.
guards? No.
Because it's almost pure foam. There's the only piece on it that's not foam. I guess there's 2 parts on it that aren't foam, Velcro, and the silver tip of a ballpoint pen, and that's the actual nozzle where the web fluid would squirt out if it did. The rest of it's made from craft foam you can pick up at a craft store. It's 2 mil or almost 1/8 inch, and a little bit of a 1/4 inch, I think, foam, which like all craft stores, easily accessible and cheap.
What about the spear you just did with all hand tools?
Yeah, the spear wouldn't be too bad.
Because that's a beginner one.
Yeah, there's a little more going on with putting the head together, at least the way I went about doing it. Because
there's a few more complicated, you're like,
Right.
There's some experience in there.
A little bit, yeah. But you can still do it.
Okay.
So yeah, that's... Either one of those sound interesting
I
to you?
think your spell book was an easy one for beginners. It's
Yeah.
simple. It's easy, not easy techniques, but they are impressive looking, simple techniques.
Speaking of dust.
Oh yeah, that stuff.
So we're talking about spell books a couple of times now. Sorry I can't get a whole lot closer. I did a live stream with some Magic the Gathering. I can't remember exactly who. This was a few months back now. And they asked about me doing a spell book build. And so what I did was made a box that holds a magic deck. I guess it's my deck because I own it. And then I got a spin down die for my for my hit points, right? And then I put a loop in the cover, and this is a real bone pin that another friend made a long time ago.
Yeah, and I like that you can really go all details out
Right.
on this, and the more you add, the cooler it is. And it's simple.
This is actually leather, and this is just from the Cree-cut aisle. So this is Cree-cut leather from Michael's. In order to get the recessed black magic, dark magic logo, this is foam that I just cut out, glued onto the cardboard that I used for the cover, and then mashed the leather down into it in order to get to the relief. And I had a very good friend of mine actually suggested that to me.
Yeah, no, that's an easy technique that
Yeah.
instantly makes things look great.
So thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah.
And the spell books also have a pattern, like the
So
Spider-Man.
it makes it even easier.
So it makes it even easier. I believe there is actually a pattern for that. Because that's a big thing. If you're really starting and really want to be able to do something you can just do, and you're not having to figure out how you're going to do it while you're figuring out how you're going to do it. You take one of those steps out and you follow a pattern. I built Legos for years. Why? Because it took steps out. It's instant gratification creation. It's great.
Yeah.
So I totally get it. So there's a few different things there that are different.
You have some options.
Have some options.
There's
yeah.
some simple ones that you
And
can.
they're not all Disney. Sorry.
not?
No, Disney doesn't own Wizards of the Coast. Not to my knowledge. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah,
sorry.
Disney owns everything, didn't you know?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not careful own Odin Makes. Yeah, we are 2:15. Let's see. Chocolate Milk Man, I thought I answered NCR Ranger Veteran Helmet. Oh. Right. The good robot us is from Bill and Ted 2. Did you make the good? Which is, there's the evil robot us's from Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey,
which look just like Bill and Ted because they're androids
Yeah.
for the future. And then the good Robotus is the ones that Station made from hardware stuff. So it's they're like
Robotic.
they're dustbusters and vacuum tubes and vacuum hoses and
It's so
goofy
long
things.
since I've seen it.
Yeah, it's okay. And then
Yeah.
it's spray painted to be the right colors, but they're fun.
So a fun prop.
So that'd be a complicated, fun build, definitely. Alrighty.
That's not an overnight.
No, that's not a 1 week build. And today we're going to work on the left arm because it's nothing but texture in tiny pieces.
Right?
Right, unless you want to sew together stuffed animal pants, that'll go together a lot faster. But that's still just a lot of hand stitching. So it's been Monday, and it's been a very enjoyable Monday. We were talking earlier about how we actually got stuff accomplished on our project, and I had a lot of fun talking to you.
I know.
How about you?
Oh,
You talked too.
I've got a lot of stuff done.
You talked too, though. You had some good.
Some suggestions and pointers I will always
Yeah,
put in my 2 cents.
I wasn't trying to take all the credit for or hog the floor, so to speak. It was just I enjoyed talking. I enjoyed sharing my time with you guys today.
I enjoyed chit-chatting it up too. So
Good.
I think it's time to call it a day.
I think it's time to call it a day. It's nap time.
Yes.
So, okay, kids, grab your binkies and your blankets. It's nap time. So it's 2:15. So this is us doing our 15-minute late sign-off, as is our habit. I'd like to thank you very much for spending your Monday time with us. If it's still Monday for you, it may not be. And, we're going to be back here next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. And if you're around... Same project. And if you're around, I'd love to see you again. So thank you for hanging out with us, and we'll be back next week. Bye-bye. Where'd my
That's
mouse
all,
go?
folks.
Somewhere around here, there's a button.
2 buttons.
2 buttons. And yes, end.